The official.
Really are. Yeah, I know you're moving the
your
table.
hair just keeps getting bigger. Welcome to Unfriended and Unfriended. Jesse's hair keeps hitting the fucking guitar.
He hit the guitar. We are ready.
Eventually, we'll get a real studio.
Welcome to the non-breakfast breakfast show. Lunchtime. What time is it?
It's breakfast to me and you.
Daylight saving.
You kidding me?
Confusion gene show.
This is
How many cups of coffee have you guys had?
None.
one.
Just one.
Nah,
Just
this-
had it.
Tequila. I'm in.
And it's 11:30.
Tequila.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I've had 3 already.
Alex Jones.
That's because we also have an assload of alcohol in my house.
everywhere. Get it? Casamigos.
I've had 3 cups of coffee already today, and I painted all the trim in my kitchen this morning.
Nice,
Bro, I'm painting the house too. Sucks.
No, it's great.
Did it, bro. Sucks.
You throw on some music, throw on a podcast, and paint away, my friends.
I'm pretty
And paint away.
sure it sucks.
Speaking of,
Go
it
for
sucks.
Speaking of, I feel like this is going to turn into like the Joe Rogan Experience review episode.
Whatever, man.
Well, we haven't seen each other, and I don't know about you guys. I listened to both in full, Kanye and Alex Jones.
Me too.
I did. You motivated me.
And,
I watched both.
I'll bring up another one later on in the show, but like let's
What do you want to go
talk
for
about
first?
this. Like,
What do you
let's take them in order. Let's talk Kanye first, right?
Okay.
It was. I'll start it. I'll start it. Because, all right. So a good friend of ours who's in a very popular band put out a post on Facebook that said Kanye West is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Right?
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. I get what he's saying. I comment on this, and I was just like, basically like, yeah, I hear you. I go, but
is he?
yeah, right. Right, exactly. Louis C.K. Yeah, totally. But maybe. Yeah. So I forget what I said. It was something, just along the lines of, the guy's great. Like if you really listen to what he's saying, sure, he sounds crazy. But I actually enjoyed the interview. It was nice to hear him. It was nice to hear his thoughts, played out and allowed him to expand on them instead of those 30 little second clips. You know what I'm saying? Someone had a great analogy or made a great analogy.
Go
here.
on.
He was like,
I gotta hear this.
He goes,
I'm so in.
he's like, minute per minute, he sounds insane. But per half hour, you realize how smart he is. And it's true. Like, when you think about it, when you take him from sentence to sentence, it's like, this guy is a narcissistic asshole. And then when you compile it all together from the start to the end of his point, it's like
weed through the craziness because there is when I say craziness, I'm not gonna just sit there.
Okay.
I'm not on the fucking Kanye's a complete. I mean, he is a little out of his mind, but I'm not gonna sit there and go, he's crazy. I'm not gonna jump on that bandwagon.
What makes him crazy? That's what I don't understand.
For me, and me coming from a very religious family, just the double downing on religion.
That's what I was going to. That's what I assumed.
It's too much with the
God told me, brought me
the God told me thing, and that's where you're gonna lose people. Oh, God talked to you or whatever,
Sure.
And he kind of made a comment where, God doesn't really speak to you, but you kind of hear him or some shit. Like I don't know what the fuck he was saying, but. He was losing me there when he said one of his reasons for being a good candidate was because he's a God-fearing Christian.
Sure.
God-fearing that's not what we need right now because you can go overboard.
Well, I mean, that's arguable. I mean, I think that if you really look at the United States and in the course of the world, it's kind of very picturesque to Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible right now, right? I mean, it's just
I'll go there.
It's right. I mean,
that's a tough comparison.
I don't want to get deep right here, right? But it's
get deep. Fuck it. I'm all over.
You know what? Fuck it.
I'm just saying, it's
this whole episode is a sink or swim, but it's all swimming.
Could the country let's just be nationalistic for a second? Could the country benefit from a God-fearing Christian right now? Yeah,
No.
I think that it could because we've had a fake Christian for the last 4 years who. It kind of
Jesse.
I don't know. I don't want to get into religion now, but
again, I'm in a religious family. I don't think it's good for a lot of things.
I'm a religious person too.
I think the values are sound.
Of course,
no, but
values,
it's not realistic.
What do you mean?
I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean.
Do unto others is not realistic?
No, none of it is realistic. Listen, the Bible's phenomenal, religion's phenomenal, but you don't run a country like that. So
at least our country.
No. Hold on.
At least our country.
It's not a matter of running the country like that, but like our moral fabric as a society has always been based in Judeo-Christian values, which is why we worked so well.
I know, but Jesse,
then it gets into the people who rate every fucking line and are like, well, getting a haircut's a sin, so I'm gonna fucking not do that.
Fair point.
And that's what that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
And Jesse,
okay.
And if you really think about the Bible and those ancient times, and I'm not accusing Kanye West of this, but the idea that God called me for leadership is right in line with a lot of maniacs. Historically speaking, and I'm not saying that I'm calling Kanye West a maniac.
Okay, well, all right.
But you understand, like, people have risen to power with the idea.
Yes, I'll agree with you there.
God spoke to them
100%.
and told them, we're going to go and slaughter this village.
Very Charles Manson-esque,
Yes.
Helter Skelter.
Never mind Manson-esque. Where's the term drinking the Kool-Aid come from?
Sure. Well, that, cults of...
Yes.
Just saying.
Okay.
Like,
all I'm saying is that it's like...
Go on.
Nah.
No, but hold on, because I'm going to tell you this, and because here's the thing.
It's a hard line.
Here's the thing about Kanye West. He's someone that I believe he should have access to speak to someone who runs the country. I know that sounds weird,
okay,
but I think that if the president of the United States wanted to speak to a guy like Kanye West, I think they should, because he has a religious foundation. And he also has understanding of, the inner cities, the ghettos, the music. Like, he has a good world view of stuff. But however, what we're forgetting about Kanye West is, like, we're watching a live evolution of a up and down. Like, that's what he is.
Of a manic man.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at him, but, like, this is a guy who was bipolar. His wife came out and said that he has an issue. His mother died.
Sure.
Like, he's been through a lot, and by
no means am I saying that I think Kanye West should be president or run the country. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, good.
Okay.
We want to make sure. JC and I want to make sure we're clear on that.
I'm not jacking.
All I was saying is that, like, if you really listen through his points here, he makes a lot of valid points.
Jesse he also got Jesse at agriculture and self-sustainability. Like, Jesse's all about that.
I'm talking about that. Can I be honest with you?
And I agree with him a lot with that
sure,
shit,
but I mean,
but he lost me at
on
the
the Christian thing real quick. Just real quick on the Christian thing.
Go ahead.
Just because it's like, I mean, I feel like it's unfair to base or pass judgment on someone just because they feel or speak like that, like God put me here for a reason. Because it's like, have you ever had one of those moments? Have you ever been that low in your life?
God put me here is not a problem.
Where you were uplifted,
That's
and it's
not
like,
a problem.
I have no way of explaining this. It must just be.
You should believe. You should. Everyone. If you believe you're God's child, you should believe that God put you here for a reason.
That's fine. Yeah.
However, that is not enough. The way politics work, that's not going to cut it.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
If God has chosen you,
you shouldn't become president because you're a good Christian.
Yes.
I agree with you there.
But don't you feel saying God put me here is a little bit different than saying I spoke to God? Or God told me to do this?
No, because I feel like if you feel prayer and you like that is you speaking to God,
but when you say, for me, it's when you say, I feel like God put me here for a reason to do this. I'm fine with that. People feel that way. That's a good feeling.
Sure.
But to sit there and say, God told me to do this and I should do it this way, and that's where the slippery slope comes, because now, for me, you could have some fucked up policies.
Sure.
And fucked
have you ever had
God told me to do it.
Have you ever had those inner arguments with yourself, like that inner monologue of like, oh, what should I do? And it's like, and you never know. You don't know. I don't know what decision I should make, which path I should choose, and then you make that choice, and it's like, and like there's that relief there where it's like almost unexplained on how you got here. So it must be a spiritual aspect. It must be a higher power that guided me here. But then that's your perception of it. Is that my connection with with God is so strong that
But I'm gonna show.
I'm able to give myself up to him, and he can guide
should
me
word
in
it
the
differently.
direction.
But watch-
you know, yeah, I agree with you. I'm
But
just,
watch this, and this is another thing about this God-fearing thing. So the two greatest leaders in the Bible are arguably Moses and Jesus Christ.
Sure.
Okay, so Moses and Jesus Christ both, obviously spoke to God directly, same thing, and they both led people who saw them make miracles, but still didn't believe. Right? They both didn't make it because technically Moses died before he even saw the promised land, and Jesus Christ got crucified. And the reason I bring that up is because when people bring the whole God-fearing thing, like, you're not ready to walk that walk.
Right.
You're ready to talk the talk.
Right.
Like, are you really ready? Like, if you're that God-fearing Christian, if this is what you think America needs, how far are you willing to take it? Because this, like, you're right. I look at the world today and it's morally devoid and there's a lot of drama. And I'm like, the person who wants to take that, like, you want to take option A, B, and C, you want to take option A, God-fearing, and do that, like, I don't see them making it. Like, I just don't see, because politics is not clean. You cannot bring a clean.
also-
That's what I was gonna
You know what I
say.
mean? You can't bring a clean thing. I'll give you an example.
I also, can we just clarify this, because God-fearing, like, maybe we have a different definition or perception of it. Like, when I hear a God-fearing Christian, I feel like it's someone who controls or goes through their life in a way of, I'm not going to do the wrong thing because I don't want to experience the wrath of God, and that's where God-fearing comes. It's like,
But the wrong thing is subjectable. That's the problem.
right. Well, I mean, again, it's
Especially in a country.
If you take the Ten Commandments, this is why I say the Judeo-Christian values is a very good basis for society. If you take the Ten Commandments, like, it's pretty sound.
But isn't there
like,
no other
don't
God
kill
to be
each other.
worshipped? Like,
Correct.
Sure.
Idolatry.
now,
again,
now you
there's-
have people who are completely different religions in this country who go, fuck you. And that's where the
Right, but
slippery slope comes.
but then we have amendments in a constitution that
Sure.
also give
Now we're amending commandments.
freedom of religion.
But he's also saying
You know.
they're also not really protected.
No, I get you. I get what you're saying
know,
there.
it's-
Yeah.
And again, my father's a pastor. He's a deacon. I come from a very religious family. I respect religion. I love the values of religion because, honestly, I feel like in a lot of ways I'm a better person because I follow the values that my parents taught me, everything. But I do understand that other people think differently and have different
Of course.
cultures and different. And America's very unique in that sense. People go to Japan and they're always like, "Oh my God, everything works the way it works. There's no disrespect. There's no garbage on the floor. You have a wrapper, you put it in your pocket, and you take it home and you throw it out there.
Yeah.
It's but
Dubai's like that.
But
too.
you go
Yeah,
to Japan,
Dubai's like super.
and who are you
respectful,
surrounded
clean.
by?
Yeah.
All the same type of people, all Japanese people for the most part, right? Let's call it what it is. What, 95% Japanese people in Japan?
Right.
Maybe more.
Well, also
less.
Japan has don't they have like laws on book if you are going to immigrate to Japan, you have to.
But that's my point.
Take on
but I'm
their
saying
customs
it's,
and culture.
It's one culture.
Right.
Let's call that. It's
Sure.
one culture.
Well,
So now we're talking about a country that's how much bigger,
The melting pot here.
and it's
Yeah.
it's just it's tougher to have all of
That's
these different.
again. That's why
religions and
instead of saying we should instead of calling it Judeo-Christian values, we could just call it like societal moral ethics. You know what I mean?
Fucking
Like
common sense?
Don't kill each other. Don't steal from each other. You
Yeah,
know?
of course.
You know what I mean? Like,
But those are laws,
I mean, but then
too.
again, it's like
At the
there are
same
other
time,
things-
those
there
are laws.
Those are laws, yeah. But
Yeah.
and they're based off of
that.
this. Like, I mean, again, it's also
People can't follow the law. They're not going to follow a commandment because it's also a law. People
That's
still
fair.
people
Sure,
still covet
sure.
their
But I mean,
thy
that-
neighbors' wives. They don't give a fuck.
right. But I mean, that's also.
I'm just
that
saying.
goes into, and this is what, like, again, I don't want to
A
get
lot
like
of those
deep
values-
into religion here, or into Christianity, but like that's where free will comes in.
Yeah, but
That's why he was allowed to eat that apple.
Yeah, but-
and had the choice
And that's
to
why
do
people
it.
still
You
covet
know what
thy
I'm saying?
neighbors' wives.
And that's,
But this is also what drives me crazy too, is if people were Christ-like, like I see it all the time. If Christ lived today, he'd be a socialist. It's just not sustainable because it's just like.
How dare you? I don't know why, because I don't know why I'm saying it. I'm just saying it because you said something about
I mean, it's hard to say that. I understand what you're saying.
Someone feeding.
I know. I just wanted to say, how dare you?
It's just
prostitutes touching them.
Again,
and
I don't think
just
that Jesus Christ in his words would be accepting of a tyrannical government taking the belongings of people to give to everyone. You know what I'm saying? It would be
the church. He
generous.
flipped the tables the way he flipped the church.
You know, I'm just saying. It's again hard to say.
So stick around for the next story of Jesus.
No, but you know why? Because I'm telling you now.
And this is a Kanye show.
No, but because
talk. Wait.
And I'm gonna give you something too.
How do you talk Kanye without talking Jesus?
Part of why Jesus was hated is because
okay,
we have to, because you're just gonna see how this kind of.
I know. I'm drifting off into the sunset of Kanye fucking.
Part of why Jesus was hated is because at the time that he lived, the Jews were under Roman rule. And there was a belief that the Son of God was going to get them out of that rule. They didn't realize it was...
AKA Kanye.
They didn't realize it was a religious awakening. They thought it was going to be an actual, let's get these Romans out of Savior. Yeah. So, same thing with the Kanye mentality. America... It is deeper than that.
And he took Michael Jordan's fucking nickname. Screw him.
We are deeper than morals. Like, our issues in the United States are deeper than morals. That's why with this whole election, when people run around...
Our issues in the United States are deeper than morals. Yeah.
And I think that people running around with this moral superiority complex...
You know what did that?
Going back... I'm listening.
Social media.
Yes.
Now I have a voice, and I want to tell you what I think.
And what I've always said, I'm like...
Three jackasses making a podcast.
America's largest problem, because it's funny you bring Japan, America's largest problem is our interaction with technology has fucking destroyed us because our intelligence hasn't matched the rise of our technology.
Yes.
We are dumb. We're getting dumber, but we're getting more access to shit.
Did you watch The Social Dilemma?
I was about to say, I watched The Social Dilemma this weekend.
Woo!
Gene.
I have to watch it. I'm watching.
You need to watch it. So this is what I was going to bring up before is that I just started listening to Tristan's interview with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I didn't hear that yet.
I'm like,
he was on that shit.
He was. He made The Social Dilemma.
I know. I just realized who it was when I read his name.
He's the creator
like,
of it.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Even this morning on Rogan, like what I was listening to, it was like, holy shit, man. It goes so deep.
Yeah.
And then this is why it all intertwines. And then like you bring in the Alex Jones stuff, you know, and it's just like, good old Alex Jones. What is happening right now? So, okay, not to venture off into 1,000 paths, because I'm actually like really passionate and into this right now.
Okay,
go on.
You know, again, I was like, eat shit, big tech. Turning off all my notifications.
You know who else did that?
You know who?
My brother.
Did he?
He took everything off his phone.
Everything.
Everything.
Because here's the thing.
You know what I did?
And
none of that, because I don't give a fuck.
In fact, my mother came over this morning so I could come here, right? And watch the kids. And she comes in with fucking Lunchables, right? Because...
Woo!
And I go, Ma. I go, you know what's crazy? I go, the CEO of Lunchables doesn't feed his kids Lunchables. And she's like, why not?
Because it's trash.
Because it's trash. Like it's design filler for poor kids.
But Jesse, the Chinese guys don't eat the food when we order it. Have you ever walked into a Chinese restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah, all the time.
Do.
And they're eating.
They eat white rice and some other shit. They're not eating the shit that we order.
Yeah, because it's Americanized Chinese food.
American food.
That's just my point. Okay,
go back to
Lunchables.
Well, that has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Lunchables is just, it's bad processed garbage.
The people who are in charge of these companies never do. I'm sure the person who has fucking Old Spice does not use that deodorant. Like, I don't think that anyone uses what they sell. It's just, I get what your point is.
Yeah, but there's a reason for it.
Because they have money.
No.
The guy who owns Lunchables
not only that,
can afford real food.
But it's not.
Right.
It's not the only reason.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not the only reason, though.
Right.
You're saying like they know better, and that's why they don't do it.
Yeah.
I just think they have money.
If I knew what I was
people care. Like Kraft macaroni and cheese, I think is not allowed in like a majority of countries along the in the world. But
well, I'll tell you this:
my wife still eats it.
I'll tell you this,
feeds it to my kids. I don't eat it.
When I started traveling,
powdered cheese is not real cheese. Go ahead.
When I started traveling a lot, and especially in Europe, the one thing I realized is America uses a lot of fillers in everything.
Yeah.
Like cocoa,
That's why everyone's gluten.
Yeah, chocolate,
lectins.
chocolate and bread, which is we hear about Europeans and they all eat chocolate and bread, blah. And I'm like, oh, they really
because of lectins. There's no lectins in the soil over there.
And this is the
because they
point.
never had to GMO. Because they don't have countries the size of ours. We can go into this.
That's not true.
Because it bothers me.
Okay, but, you know what? You know why we could go into it a little bit because I'm going to give you like one of my biggest frustrations with this whole COVID crisis. And you want to talk about America as a country being nationalistic, the education level, the technology. Like, I'm like, why? Like, I feel awkward that if I ran the country during COVID, that I would have actually communicated that we need to make better health choices. We need to eat healthier.
No one ever talks about personal health.
The vitamin D thing. Yeah, I mean, Joe Rogan fucking screams
because the
about
government
that.
can't make money off of personal health.
But this is crazy because
They can.
No, they
yes,
can't.
they can.
They can sell vitamin D.
Bro, listen.
You're right. They could
vitamins.
sell the sun.
But
Vitamins, excuse me.
yeah,
I had
but
Jeremy say it the wrong
solar
way.
panels. No, but realistically, if we cared so much and COVID is a crisis and we're all gonna die and yada yada yada, why wouldn't we push? All right, listen. We can get back to McDonald's in about 6 months. But for right now, we all need to focus on these vitamins. Even the health experts. We heard about masking and washing hands, but we never heard about
Yeah, I know.
what to eat,
I know.
what to stay away from.
There's a bunch of people screaming about it.
And that's why when I say when it comes to America, it's deep into that because even in a survival crisis, people did not have the ability to do the right thing on both sides.
Do you know why though? It's because of misinformation. So the way that these
course.
things work, and if you watch
Going back
the
to
Social Dilemma here, it's
scary.
Bro, it really is scary. It really is scary to think that there is this massive supercomputer that Zuckerberg owns or his board owns.
Yeah.
That has AIs that are constantly growing, designated specifically for you
to see what you like. I know.
And
Bro,
you're creating
it counts
this
how long you watch a
virtual-
picture.
I know.
It
Listen,
literally counts.
Gene, it's
crazy.
So, you got to watch it because what was the country? There was a country. It was like
Myanmar?
Where-
The whole country's fucked.
basically a whole entire
country's
country
fucked. It's fucked.
is slaughtering these
other.
specific Muslims because of. So when you get a phone in there,
Yeah, over there.
the only program that you get, your internet, your free internet, is Facebook. So that this whole entire country, where they get their information, or it's Facebook.
Wow.
That's what. And there is.
Imagine that.
Okay, this is what did it to me. I'm gonna fucking
There's
speedball
genocides
this
going
now.
on in that country.
This is what did it to me, where I got
I've
really,
always thought
really
that Mark
concerned.
Zuckerberg-
Okay,
I was always worried about that
and
guy.
I'm happy that my kids are still young enough that I can correct this. Right? It's going back to the Lunchable thing. Most of the CEOs, presidents,
Yeah, of course not.
engineer, like people that work in these companies, none of their kids are allowed to have social media accounts
because they know better.
because they know what it's doing.
Yes.
They know what it's happening. So that when Facebook was allowed on this, now the guy who created the like button on Facebook is the one who was talking about this, is the one who said this, just to keep that in mind. When Facebook became available on the mobile device, suicide rates in teens and tweens, that
Yeah,
means
yeah.
like coming into teenager,
12, 11.
skyrocketed.
Because
Why?
because
Because they're
they
not
need
getting enough likes.
likes, yeah, I
and
know.
they even said, he goes like, we created this out of a joyous thing. It was supposed to be a loving
It's a like
community thing. It's a
bullshit.
like button.
Bullshit.
No,
They knew what they were
Gene,
doing.
you got to listen. You
No, I
could
agree.
watch this guy's face.
Well, now
He's
they're
like, we
making
had
money
no
on
idea.
bashing what they created. So, there's always
It's a
something.
monster. It's a
but
monster.
always
No,
something.
okay, I'm gonna tell you because I tell people
You were just hitting the nail on the head, and you had no idea about this, about what I was going to go into here, and that's what I'm saying. You need to watch this because you're right on point about technology and social media and just the advancements. We have not evolved.
We're not fast enough. We're too slow.
The lady, one of the ladies from Instagram even said this. She goes, we realize that it's a beast that's out of control because basically it's like it's designed to continue to grow. It's designed to get smarter, and so it's already surpassed us. Our capacity.
I'll tell you. I agree. I'll tell you two things.
Short of unplugging the system, we're pretty much fucked.
I'll tell you two things that I knew was wrong. Like, everyone goes through this where you fucking forget your passwords and this and that.
My heart rate's up right now. I'm sorry.
I have 3 notepads that have my passwords to shit because I can't remember shit. But the idea that, just go through Facebook. Just go through Facebook. I'm like, this is weird. Like, I can go through.
Did you notice Apple made something? Did you notice what they
No.
made? So now you can log in through Apple.
What?
And they don't. So you know how they have login with Facebook, login with Google?
Yeah.
Apple created one, login through Apple, and then they make a generic fucking email, so that company will never know it's you.
Which is
all anonymous.
Which is,
You know what?
This is how Facebook took control because by forcing us to always go through them to get to stuff, they decide that
easy.
we are the gateway.
Yep.
We are the product. We're what's being sold.
Well, then,
Yes.
no, he says we, meaning Facebook.
Facebook decide that they are the gateway.
Yeah,
so,
gotcha.
like,
Yes.
you want to
Yes.
go see Geico? You want to see your Geico bill?
You come
go
through us. Sure.
You want to do this? You go through us. Oh,
Right.
you want to go to YouTube? You go through us.
Right.
And I'm like, and then
How
they bought,
easy is it?
And then they bought Instagram. So it's like, nope. You're still going through us.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized.
WhatsApp. They own WhatsApp.
That's when I realized it was a crisis. And the second reason I realized it was a crisis is part of why we made this show. I'm like, I don't have the mentality to fight with someone on social media. Like the fact,
it's
this is
infuriating.
this is the corniest post that you can write on social media right now. I'm gonna post this, and if you don't agree, fuck off.
Delete me.
Delete me.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
You're what?
You're such a cunt.
Like you're
I'm sorry. I had to. It's just like, that's what goes through my
yeah,
mind
like-
when I see those
like
things.
You're prefacing a post.
You know?
You haven't even gotten to what you want to say, and I'm already pissed.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what the fuck you're about to say, but go delete me.
You know what that's
If
like?
You,
You know what that is, Gene? That's the new. I'm not racist.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But Jesse, it's like, if you're so tough, then delete me.
Then delete me.
You know what? You know who you're talking to.
Yep.
So stop being so
Right.
fucking
Stop being so
cryptic.
passive-aggressive
Yes,
about
I want
this.
you to see
Yeah.
my
I want
comment,
you
though.
to know that I
Yeah.
don't like the way you think, and
Yeah.
guess what? I'm gonna write something, and if you write something, I'm gonna flip the fuck out.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? Like this is really, and those are the 2 times when I'm like, it's out of control. And I remember a couple of episodes ago, I told you, I'm like, something wrong when the CEOs of social media companies are testifying in Congress so often.
All
Like,
the time.
It's problematic.
Jack Dorsey was just there again this past weekend.
Why? What is it that you have to talk about to Congress? Like that is
The amount of foreign
You wanna know why?
interference
Yeah.
right now
Because
is
they got too
it's-
big.
They got too big,
got too big.
and they had no idea. This is
They
all so.
knew.
Gene, nobody.
They didn't know it was gonna
I'm
be like
sorry.
this politically.
I'm sorry. Nobody
Bro,
could have known.
bro.
Facebook's original, the original idea of Facebook was check
make
out
the
the hot
kids-
chicks in my school. That's what the original fucking Facebook was.
Facebook originally
Okay.
was only for universities. You
Okay.
had to have a
Okay.
school address in order to have it.
Okay, so let's rewind this. Let's rewind.
And then what? I think 2004, 2005, it went public to like everyone.
Hold
something
on.
like that.
Hold on. Let's.
It wasn't just for, students
Let's
anymore?
rewind this because Facebook is guilty of sin. If we're gonna make this religious, they are the 2 thieves on the other side of Jesus.
Well, Facebook is responsible for a lot.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
let's really dissect what they did. We create a platform that's nice and cool, connect people. You can look at this girl, blah blah. Great. Huge database with all these people, and someone taps a guy and goes, "Yo, you're not making money though. How do we make money?"
Right. That's where the switch is.
So now they decided advertising. We have a bunch of eyeballs. So the logical evolution here, and it is that we can sell marketing dollars here. Fine. But here's where it got grimy and people pretend that we didn't know this and we knew it. We said it out loud every day, but we as an American people were just dumb to it. We're like, yo.
We're not. We're being controlled.
No, hold on.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
We were like, why did I just say this and it popped up on my Facebook?
up on my screen.
We were saying this for almost 4 years because what happened is the advertising money got so good, they're like, how do we make more?
Yes.
Oh, we have to figure out
how to keep them here.
Not
how
just,
to keep them on the screen.
No, not just on the screen. We have to figure out everything they say and do and connect it to the people that
Around
need
them.
Yeah.
So that, you just said Ford? We got to somehow show you a Ford car so that we can get paid by showing Ford. Because remember, years ago too, there was a couple companies that got off of Facebook because they felt like the advertising model was failing.
Right.
They were paying Facebook to run a bunch of ads, but there was no connection because you would be looking at a Jaguar and it had nothing to do with you. But so they flooded your timeline with commercials, but it wasn't effective. Then they
You got to watch the show.
Then they got. Then,
It'll explain a lot of things that like you're missing right here.
Then they got medieval. They decide to figure out what it is you do look at, and they sold that to the companies.
Yes.
And then they reversed back, got more money. So
It's also proximity too. They use proximity.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
No, but hold
every
on.
one of these companies, just 'cause I want to
Yeah.
just throw this out there because it might.
okay.
Every one of these companies, they have a clinical psychologist
Yes.
on staff because
Yes.
it's all geared towards manipulation
Yes.
of the human mind. Of
Okay.
what is going to keep you coming back here?
100%. And this is how
here,
and
or
this
whatever
Is,
it
and
is,
this
you
is
know?
how they sell you because it's
Sure.
your platform. So now politicians sell themselves. So for you to pretend that you didn't realize that this could be politicized is a lie.
Yeah. Well, okay. We know
We're not
this
talking
now.
about that.
We're talking about when it first started.
I
No
know, but-
one knew that it would grow into things like this.
Bro,
like, okay, I'll put
why
it to you this way.
wouldn't it?
I'll put it to you this way.
Bro, a lie travels in
believe-
Facebook so fast.
Here's the thing. This is what I think that most people, and this just dawned on me this morning. Okay, so I'm not even fully thought through on this.
Go ahead.
This thought I'm going to have here, but most people I feel like can't grasp the concept that this thing is a living. That this thing has a mind of its own. There's not someone somewhere in a basement that's tickering and tick.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure, there are hackers and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
that's, not what.
yeah.
This is.
That's not what controls
This
this.
is the exact.
What controls this is its own little brain.
Yeah.
I get it.
And that brain is ever growing, and we just keep abusing that,
Jesse-
right? So it's like, okay, one of the things that I read this morning, this is what really fucked me up, was they were talking about like YouTube and like the recommended videos, right?
Yes.
Like, I don't know how you guys watch
I get it all the time.
YouTube.
You watch one thing and it shows you everything.
But everyone,
And it says-
all of
remember
these
that
guys
one guy
say,
said?
Yeah.
don't click the recommended videos. Search for what you want.
Okay.
Because every time you click in the recommended bar, you're adding a
programming.
piece of hair to your AI.
Yeah.
That's controlling you. That's
Yeah.
psychologically altering your brain, what you see, the information you take in.
But you can alter it.
Alters your. You
can
can
alter it.
alter that.
Can I
sure.
say something?
But hold on.
Go ahead.
So it's okay. So what fucked me up was Tristan was saying that there's like 13-year-old girls that go on the internet and they type in something like diets, right? I want to lose weight or anything about
Yeah.
diets, right? They go on YouTube, they'll watch a diet video, and the top videos that come up, because this is the way that the computer brain is thinking, it doesn't have morals, it doesn't have emotions, it's not thinking
got
about
you. It's just-
what is best for this person
result-oriented.
or
That's
to
it.
humans. It's
Yeah.
just specifically statistic result oriented,
Yeah.
right? So it's my other little voodoo doll of AI 13-year-old girls all watched this video too, and now all anorexia videos start coming up.
Yeah.
Right? And then so now this little 13-year-old girl who was watching something about diet and being healthy is now looking at anorexia, and these people talking good about anorexia and showing the beauties of and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, how does that happen? And again, it's not that there's someone mean, evil
I think anorexia is a
person.
bad one to use.
But
No, I
this
get-
is
I get-
exactly
no, I
this
get
is
what you-
exactly the example he used this morning on Rogan, like verbatim what I just said.
No, I get what you-
That's
I
what
get what you're saying.
happens.
That might have been old because YouTube right now, if I put a whole fucking video out on anorexia, that shit will get taken right
No,
down.
there's a new
because now
line.
it has increased
and I'm
censorship.
trying to remember
No, but
what it's
he's
called.
right, because now
there's a
the
hashtag.
leaders-
There's like a I'm gonna fuck it up. I don't remember, but there's a specific. It's like a Me Too movement. It's like
No, I get
people
it.
that are anorexic are saying we're beautiful and we're proud. And I'm not saying that, it's a specific tagline that's being used, and that's like what the algorithm is being triggered on. And hundreds of thousands of other like-minded, aged, people are watching that.
But
You know what I'm saying?
this-
It's just fucked up the way that this
but
works.
Jesse, this is why in so many conversations you see I'm always mad about Department of Education stuff. I'm always after parents about teaching because critical thinking.
But this is again, it's not. It's beyond that because it's
no. It's. I'm going to tell you
the
why.
parents are addicted.
I agree. Listen, everyone's on
parents
drugs.
are-
Okay, everyone's on drugs, and this is why.
Yes.
This is why.
Yes,
this
everyone is on drugs
This
right
is
now,
why
yeah.
this is why I love movies. The reason why I love movies is because I feel like because I was thinking about this morning when I was driving. Movies are like our imagination and our conscious speaking at the same time. So when I watch things like Matrix and they use words like unplug and they literally show you fucking someone unplug it, and I'm like, that's so fucking graphic, like that movie. You know, I think of Fight Club and like there is no Fight Club, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like the levels that they go to show you how it's really happening. And I've always said that's why I love the Matrix. Is we're all plugged in. Mm-hmm. We got to unplug, but what does the fucking movie show you? It's like it's a one-on-one process. Like they had to go in and go get Neo. They had to go in and go get this person. And this is why I tell you, like from a national standpoint, like it would when Donald Trump first ran. They were like he was kind of anti-social media. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about it. And I wasn't that far off with him. I'm like, that's not just an old 74-year-old
I think he was talking about how foreign
governments
not just that, but are using it as military tactics towards us. I think,
because,
right? Like he was saying something like
but
I'm sure it was designated towards China.
But he's,
you know?
But he's right, because my whole thing is the same way we're under attack ourselves and we're literally volunteering ourselves to slaughter. This is an open portal that allows you to get into the U.S. The end. I don't have to be in the U.S. to fight a war here. I don't have to fire a missile.
I mean, and clearly every other country, any other country as well. You know?
Yes, but the difference is this is more part of our DNA than any other country. So I do agree with what you're saying. You can attack any country through social media, but us, it hurts more because even if it's lies, it goes so far.
Sure.
Okay. I'm sure you heard about that Pizzagate, the guy that walks into a pizza store. How did you get to that situation? How do you get to that?
We're going to be talking about that later.
Yeah. How do you get to the point where you have a gun?
It's a good point.
No, it's
how do you get to the point to
spot on exactly?
You have a gun in
I got
a
a question for both of you then.
Hillary. Like, what is going on?
I got a question to bounce off of that. That bounces off of that for both of you. When's the last election that places had to board up their windows?
Because they're worried. Never in American history.
And when's the last time that happened?
JP,
ever.
I don't know why you do this.
It pisses me the fuck off.
Who's the one
why do you do this? Because I go back to the same point every time.
What?
When John McCain ran against Obama, I did not have this feeling. When John McCain ran against, you know what it is? They respected each other. Right now, and another thing I woke up with this morning. What's crazier, the far right or the far left? How is it possible that both extremes are fucking out of their mind?
And they're not even like the majority at all.
And both are extremely dangerous.
Yes, and you know what's crazy? I've never thought that I was like really a centrist, but like that is the answer. And then when you talk about, you know, God-fearing, like I'm like, what is America really? If you really roll it back, that's kind of what it was. It was a God-fearing country that wanted political protection and that wanted to prosperity and empower the individual,
freedom,
and that's it. Like,
that's it.
And now it's like,
and then people had to go and own people like a bunch of dicks.
That, but not just that. Even worse than that, what people decided is, we're not going to give them.
And then
freedom.
we raised a generation of Karens.
Before Karens was the participation trophies. They created Karens.
Oh, that's true.
They created Karens. So what happens is they're like, we're not going to give them freedom. We're going to give them the illusion of freedom, and that's where the fuck we are, because we've been running around with and this is why I said last episode, do I think Donald Trump is the best thing ever? No, but like this fucking violent slap that I caught in the middle of just chilling has us all bugged out. Like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't want to get punched in the face.
Right, but
that's what this is.
I don't think this is Donald
crazy.
Trump, though. And this is what I'm starting to lean towards now. I don't believe
he didn't do it on purpose.
No, I don't think that he did it at all.
Go ahead. Donald Trump is not the reason.
What are you taking back what you think?
I forgot what I was saying.
Tell you what,
I think I got it. It's those goddamn your car's warranty.
God.
Fuckers. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, Donald Trump. I don't think that Trump is necessarily like responsible for all that. I truly now believe that social media is, and like just the way that we are manipulated and targeted.
But don't you
in
think
that respect.
he was manipulated too then with it? Because a lot of times he says shit to be a
without
dick.
doubt. No, without a doubt. I think that the whole Trump certainly at least. Someone is feeding him conspiracy theories, without a doubt.
It's called Fox News, but go ahead.
No, I disagree with that.
Stop
Stop
it,
that.
Hannity. Bro, I watch Fox News. I
don't watch Fox News anymore.
I do.
But
I watch Fox News. I watch CNN. I watch NBC. And I watch BBC. I'm telling you for a fact,
Fox News is not any worse than MSNBC. Okay,
No, it's just the other side.
It's the other side.
Oh, it is.
I'm saying that I don't think
But
that
he only
any of
listens
them,
to Fox News.
Exactly.
and none of them hold a candle to what you get on the internet.
Yeah, 100%. But
They're getting there.
But listen,
None of
tell you that
them
right
hold
now.
a candle.
Okay,
I tell you what. This is why I say
all
this,
getting
because
there.
Fox News, all of your journalists today, where do they get their information from? They're not out in the streets fucking doing what reporters used to do. They're on Twitter.
Of course.
Twitter. They get their information from Twitter. That's why Jack Dorsey and the Twitter staff is always in front of Congress.
But here's the thing. First of all, this doubles back a little bit because when Obama got elected, Obama's known as the Facebook president because
that's true.
No presidential candidate put that much energy into social media
until the Brazilian.
Until Obama.
Didn't they champ
Which is why
Facebook? I think they did.
Donald Trump winning and his Twitter influence and his own, because obviously Obama owned Facebook based on the activity, but Donald Trump was able to do the same type of thing
with Twitter.
And like Joe Biden has nothing.
Have you ever
he has
gone?
a MySpace, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Like
he's still on AIM.
Yeah, and this is
MySpace.
He's talking to Tom right now about how to win this election. But,
No, was AIM MySpace? No, that was AOL Messenger. That was AOL
It's all
chat.
the same shit.
but
I think that was first.
his Donald. And this is why social media, like, they know what they're doing because now they got the highest president, the highest office in the land, the president, having to use them to convey their message and to increase their popularity. So what's a better commercial than those guys? And back
This
to
is what I don't get though, which is like why all of these politicians and people even use
they go after
something
young
like.
people.
Have you gone into?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's clear that that it's censored. It's clear that they are being regulated. Whatever. I mean, again, one of the issues that came out this weekend, right, is that the Alex Jones episode magically didn't upload to Spotify, and they were saying that it was Jamie's fault on how he uploaded, and he had to upload it again. And I think Rogan
1,500 shows plus, and all of a sudden that.
But
Alex Jones' first
why
one
did-
didn't,
why-
the return didn't, and now all of a sudden this one,
But
because
what
it
did
was
Alex
so.
Jones say? What did you find in that interview? That
You know what I got from that 3.5 hours?
Which is
I know what it
tamper-worthy.
is. I know what it
Because
is.
that's the only one thing I can
You know
tell
what I got from 3.5 hours of watching that?
What?
Alex Jones told the fucking truth.
Most of the time.
I mean,
But that's why.
That's more than people thought. So it doesn't matter.
there was really
That's why-
nothing that he stated that any of them said, no, Alex, that's not right.
No, he's a deep space. He
No,
studies.
They didn't. They fact checked him on everything.
He's
There
been
was a
doing-
few things that kind of went sideways, but weren't 100% sideways. But yeah,
But we're still connected in some way. Like he got a year wrong. It was 73
No, no,
instead
no,
of
no, no,
63.
no,
That was
there was
a one
just-
big thing that they were trying to get him. I
Which
can't
one?
remember what it was. There was one big thing they were trying to do it, and Joe Rogan was like, and the guy couldn't find it, and he goes, type this instead. But that's when he started drinking, which is why I was mad that he was drinking.
Right, that was towards the end. Oh,
Yeah.
that was
There was something that-
it was Bill Gates talking about the vaccines.
Yes.
Yes,
And
that's
he-
the one that didn't pan out.
Yeah.
But again, I know exactly the clip that he's talking
no, he
about.
found
They found a
Joe
different
Rogan.
one.
No, Joe Rogan posted it the next day.
He did.
He did?
He posted it.
There you go.
He posted it.
There
They
you
found
go.
it and posted it. So
Because I was going to say,
Okay.
during that, I was like, oh, yo, Alex Jones, I know exactly the clip that you're talking about. I've seen that too. I remember him talking about
I
it.
can tell you right now.
personally posted it. Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan posted
Yeah, the
it.
next day,
So,
yeah.
so there you go, Gene. That's my point. is
Listen,
that
there was only one thing
everything
he
Alex
said.
Jones said was fact checked and was verified
There was only
in
one-
some way.
Can I
He
tell you
made a-
something? There was only one thing he said, and it was the one thing he couldn't fact check.
Which
is I was like, I fucking knew it. I just sat because I'm watching this at like midnight, laying down, and I'm like, I gotta watch this because you guys
Tell me
keep
it
talking
didn't
about.
bug you out.
No, what bugged
little,
me
right?
out was it's called Blackmail Island now because That's all I got from that. I'm like, there's a fucking culture. There's a
Epstein.
culture, there's a culture of motherfuckers that purposely entangle you to blackmail you and have you do things that they want you to do, which once
It's
again,
the CIA.
which
All right,
once again,
I'm
that's
going on my
every-
conspiracy
that's,
here.
That's every fucking movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm like,
The fact that there were scientists getting blackmailed is the
no,
scariest
that made
part.
so much sense.
But
That
it's
made
the
so much-
scariest.
No, but it made so much sense because
It's
we already
scary.
complained about all the extra fillers in that food. The fucking big pharma's already been fucking fucking us up.
That's why it's
we know-
scary.
and then
Yeah.
The guy who's making the like button, they need the info from the back end of this shit, so they
Right.
need those guys too.
Right.
So all those guys are in on it.
Yep.
And what drives me crazy, and like I'm not a conspiracy guy, but
You do know that Alex Jones was one of the first, I think was the first guy to blow up Epstein Island. We're talking
Yes.
3-4 years ago.
Yes.
And people told him he was fucking out of his mind.
but you know what it is?
Because it's the gay frogs, and then that's why Joe Rogan said you need a fact checker with you to
Because he goes off on these fucking
but
rants.
you gotta say-
Next thing you know, it's
Just so
globalists, and
No,
Sandy
but-
Hook was a hoax.
You know what it is?
Like,
Let me tell you
whoa,
something.
like,
No, but
fuck.
you know what?
That's the one thing he
No,
said
no.
that he was wrong and was fucked up. Was that Sandy
It's
Hook
not
was a
that he's
hoax.
always wrong. It's that
That was the only thing
but
he said that was wrong.
But the problem with Alex Jones is, and I heard this on another, I think it was Andrew Schultz's podcast, where they made a good point saying that he tends to attach these correct things with reasonings of psychotic things.
It's called false correlation, but people do it
It's
every day.
yes.
People do it
I'm
every
just
day.
saying.
People go, oh, you-
Right, okay, I see what you're saying there.
no, but everyone does that.
That's what
because
Joe Rogan was stopping him from doing.
No,
Right.
but I'll tell you what it is. That guy has
Right.
a vault of information, and a guy like him, when you dig that deep into the dirt and you see that much shit, there's no way for your brain not to make connections because there's certain things that
I mean,
just
think about
start
this.
to look alike. So he may force connections, and he may not be able to. It's almost like when a cop knows you did it, but now they have to find the
can't
evidence
prove
to
that
put
you
it
did
together.
it. Yeah.
That's what he's going through.
Sure.
Because he's
That's
going,
what I'm saying. Like,
he's
imagine-
so deep in that shit. That
enough.
He's like that guy. Like it has to be because
Right.
it's just way too. You know, but
Imagine if Buzz calls you and says all the you heard that part, right?
Yeah, Buzz Aldrin part.
Buzz Aldrin called Alex Jones
Yeah.
and like oh fucking the moon's fake, the
Yeah.
things with aliens, whatever,
Exactly.
right? And it's like, but like imagine you get these calls from these type of people, these high ranking,
which,
these
you know-
top secret dudes that are feeding you information, and then you connect some dots and then you put it out there as this is what I was told, and then you're told that you're fucking insane. You get banned from every platform possible. I think I would go insane too. I'd be like,
exactly.
I'm telling you, my father was there and he saw the blueprints for humanoids, and it's
Yeah.
like, you're a fucking psychopath who needs to be shot. And it's like, they're all going to kill you. Like, I feel like I would be the same way. I'd be this crazy.
But Jesse,
I would drive up to a Hillary Clinton campaign rally in a tank as well, Like,
Yeah.
But Jesse, here's how crazy it is.
Texas.
Here's how crazy it is. Are you ready for how nuts this whole shit is? So, the people
that a lot of this shit is real and Epstein Island is actually a real thing.
Yes.
It's the world we live in.
And
there are people out there that are covering it the fuck up.
yeah, and this is why it makes it even worse than you think.
No, what makes it better is the jacket. But go on.
This is what makes it worse. I know because
It's cold today.
Triple X is ready to fucking
cold.
go.
Right, bro, I'm
He's
waiting
gonna,
for
he's gonna get the MK M16s and do it himself. But listen,
You got no idea what I got tucked under
so
here.
listen, the scariest part that I see is that now conspiracy theories
Nothing, by the way, for anyone that wants to
are-
raid my house later.
Would you listen?
conspiracies are
Just saying,
as
you never know.
regular as anything else now, and the people who spread conspiracies are now being used by the people who are actually behind the real conspiracies to hide
Yes.
the conspiracy theories through the conspiracy
Yep.
and the theory. And I have to sit here like deciphering this shit makes no sense because everyone's actually playing exactly the part they should.
The next thing you know,
Because
you're like, the globalists are.
It's a fucked up game of
I won't use
chess.
those words, but
that's what I'm saying.
but
That's what happens. That's the rabbit
because
hole you go
That's
down.
what chess is.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm so glad that Alex Jones touched on that so much because that globalist agenda is a very big problem.
I agree.
It's a very big
Yeah.
problem.
It's just, like, again, he's
Yeah, but-
so ranty
but
and
here's the-
fucking, like,
but
you're
here's
just
the
like,
pro-
come on.
I love him, man.
But
I
here's
think
the
he's
problem.
great.
Here's the
I think
problem
he's so
with-
entertaining.
The problem with globalists and the elite and these words that they use is that the American people need a face to everything. Part of the reason why we struggle with COVID and it wasn't like 9/11, it's because we need a face. 9/11, we had a face. We knew who the bad guy was. We weren't fucking around. Every American was like, blow it all up. Oh, we blew up the wrong place. So blow up something else. We don't give a fuck. Blow something up.
So fucked up.
And am I wrong? And and that's how we operate. COVID is like,
I know.
And even Donald Trump, if you listen
What are they? The Obama carpet bombs, right? Just fucking wreck them.
Wreck 'em. Boom, boom, boom. And
Done and done.
Children,
that's why
freshwater wells.
That's why even Donald Trump, if you listen to the words, he's like the invisible. He has a word for like COVID, the invisible enemy or blah blah. Because he even gets it like, if only there was a fucking face.
Right.
Because then we can all rally and say that's the bad guy. You know, just like Scarface. You need to point at me and say that's the bad guy. We need a bad guy.
Right.
This is the face.
No,
Right there.
that's not. I mean, that's Dr. Fauci by extension. But we need a real face, and that's the problem. That's why we're struggling. Like, and then so now you got these conspiracy people, and they don't have a face. So now, once in a while, they throw you a bone, and like George Soros, my favorite name that they throw around all the time. It's just like, bro, I don't know if it's true or not, because now he could be hiding in plain sight.
I think it's also, hold on, just to touch on this before you go too far away from this one thing. I think it's just like it's hard to. It's like the racist tag now, right? The conspiracy theorist tag. It's like if you don't. It's like you don't think that this is that big of a problem. You're a conspiracy theorist, and it's like that's why like that whatever episode it was, I had to constantly keep telling you guys I'm not denying COVID, right? Like I had to keep saying that because it's like I'm
sucks.
not. But this is not what I'm saying, but.
If you want to defend any Republican fucking like viewpoint, you have to say I'm not a Trump fan because people are out of their fucking minds.
My whole point of this is that
Hold on, I can
it's
get into that too. We'll get
calling
there too.
people that are up in arms about COVID and the lockdowns and mask mandates and all this, calling them conspiracy theorists. I don't agree with that because it's all like, at least for myself,
Jesse,
I'm just going on statistics.
I know,
no one talks about the outbreak of tuberculosis 2 years ago that wiped out hundreds of thousands of people, right? We're only talking about. So it's like I see those things, I make those, and it's hard for me to click back on to the mainstream narrative of, you're right, I need to be scared.
Jesse, the problem is, the problem is, for lack of a better term, the United States IQ, in my opinion, is lower than it's ever been. Right? We can agree that we're all dependent on technology. No one thinks. You fucking the cash register girl can't tell me how much change she owes me. So here we go. So
my computer's down.
Yeah. So basically this is where we're at. And now the president of the United States, who's most likely an old school type guy, there's a communication gap. So now the government, there's a communication gap because we got a bunch of 50, 60, 70-year-olds running a country. We got a dumbed-down audience, and we're trying to communicate, and we can't. So every time something is miscommunicated, it becomes a conspiracy. Every time. You name anything. 9/11... We trained someone. Right, but we trained someone who became an operative. He worked for us, and then he defected, and then he attacked us. 9/11's not real. The fucking bill. Like, I'm like, what? There is a guy named Osama bin Laden. He did work for us. He did some work for us. He kept the guns we gave him.
Yeah.
He made an army.
Yeah.
He doesn't like us anymore. He attacked us.
He made an army.
Right.
Yeah. Do you kind of get the story? If I put it in a movie, you would get it. But for some reason, as I explained to you, you don't get it. You want to tell me 9/11?
I mean, I got to say, like, and again, like, even on some of those conspiracy theories, like, obviously, I lived through 9/11. I remember it very well. I had family that was in the towers, you know, like, not conspiracy. But when you listen to some of these conspiracy theorists,
they go deep.
Not only do they go deep, they make very compelling arguments that makes it really seem like, yo, this seems planned.
But Jesse,
this seems planned.
Jesse, your wife's
I'm
a
not
lawyer.
saying it is.
This is what they do.
I'm just saying.
You make arguments, and that's the beauty of arguments. Yo, bro, I sat through a 9/11 conspiracy about the burning melting point of steel.
Yeah.
Like, this is how deep they went because the combustion and the gas
But I mean,
in the
again,
plane
like
could
these-
not achieve the
Gene,
temperature
these
necessary
aren't-
to burn the steel of the World Trade Center.
But these aren't conspiracies. This is facts.
No,
right?
this is,
If you watched it,
this is a
those are
manipulation
It doesn't
of facts. It's
rego-
a manipulation of science.
I'm saying
That is
when the scientists come out and they say that this is the burning point of steel.
Yes, that is a fact.
That is a fact.
How you use that
and when
fact
they say,
is everything
When
else.
they say jet fuel being ignited cannot burn at this temperature to melt steel, that is also a fact.
Okay.
That is not a conspiracy theory. That is just scientific fact.
I
Yes?
believe
But
that-
did they test it in a way where that it happened? Did they
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like,
Not to
But
mention
that's what he
going
means by
on.
manipulation of facts. Like,
Yeah.
that's the first time that shit's happened like
Yeah, so
that.
how do you know?
So they don't know.
Were there bombs on the plane? How do you
Right.
know? How
Okay,
do you
I get you.
know?
I understand. Okay, because I just read a headline this morning that I thought was fucked up, and this is exactly what you're saying. This is a manipulation of the facts
Yeah.
here, right? It was like Philadelphia Philadelphia up in arms, 2 massive days of protests after black
Yes.
man shot by police, right? And that is just a gross manipulation of the facts. Nowhere in there was, black man with knife charges at police. Police step back and say, drop the knife. No, drop the knife. We're going to shoot you if you don't drop the knife. He's still charging him. Boom, then he gets shot. And nor do they say in there that the protests were just ridiculous looting of stores for 2 straight days.
Apparently, there was a video of a guy with a fucking hand truck
Yep.
taking
And the
a
National Guard,
washer
and the
dryer.
National Guard's there now. That's how you know it's bad.
TVs, washer dryers, shoes. I mean, it's just like,
And let me tell you something.
Washer dryer.
And this is why journalists, like, before
you know why they're hushing this. Did you see this in the media? On any major news? No, I found this.
Why are they? I'm dying to
Yeah,
know.
I'm surprised there's not a lot of like crazy news about Philadelphia.
Because it's so
at all.
close to the election. And when the riots were going is when Trump started rising. Because people were scared.
They
were
got
like,
scared, yeah.
I'm telling you, since
makes
these
sense.
riots, I'm not
That
going to
does
call
make
them
sense.
protests because these are fucking riots.
Law and order.
Since these riots in Philadelphia happened this past weekend, Trump's margin in Pennsylvania shrunk. I mean, Biden's lead,
Yeah.
the margin of between them shrunk drastically. I think Biden's only up by like 3.5 points or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. That was a good segue.
Wow.
This could be a good segue here, guys.
I'll give it to you.
I got my American flag on. You got your flag on.
Kanye 2020.
I'm all about California, baby.
JP's repping a state that's.
I like to shit in the
peril?
streets. I like shitting in streets and sleeping on corners.
I'm one
You know
of
what though? I just want to throw this one out here too, just because like we were talking about the media, like a few months ago, like you kept hearing, right? Like it was like, oh, cities are on fire. So this Portland is on.
I didn't believe all that, but
Portland was just like it was like a small little spot. It was like
Yeah.
a couple blocks of Portland that was all fucked
They had
up.
a camp out.
And these are the things like I was getting into
They
it with
had a
some of
camp out
my.
that went wrong in the streets.
Well, I mean, listen, like Portland,
California is literally turning into a giant camp festival.
Portland
Woodstock,
definitely
we're back.
had its weeks of crazy
The autonomous
unrest.
zone? You talking about the autonomous zone?
Beyond the autonomous zone. I'm saying
Before that shit,
Before
actually.
that,
Okay.
you know.
Portland's been
Definitely
known
had-
to be like cops
definitely
to
had
have
some
no
shit. You know, yeah, it definitely had some things popping off, but it was never at the level that it's
I didn't believe
made
that.
to be.
I didn't
Like the
believe that.
conservative media made
This
it to
goes
be.
back to what we were saying about media.
But it's also like the liberal media making it seem like these were all peaceful protests and their
Right.
moms locking arms and the police are shooting them
Two
with rubber
extremes.
bullets. It's like
But this is my point.
But these are the problems. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. This is why I brought all this up because I've been having throughout this weekend a very political conflict
Okay.
within myself because
Kanye can help
Right.
you.
as a hard libertarian as I am,
Kanye 2020.
as much as I love that Trump deregulated a lot, right? I don't. Based on what I'm saying, I'm not a fan of regulations, right?
Okay.
I believe in personal responsibility, right?
Gotcha.
After this whole social media shit, the conflict within me is should the government step in and regulate the internet?
Ooh.
And
Wow.
it's tough, right? It's like, because you think about, does China have these problems? And I know this is
Not as much because they regulate.
because they regulate their internet. And I'm not saying that I think that we should be ran
They
like
also bust
China.
off Muslims and murder them.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we need to have that level of dictatorship or tyranny.
I mean, to a point.
But-
You're gonna have to define it because if Mike Pence calls me to like
At
your
some
photo,
point-
I'm gonna be bad.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, at some point, right? Like,
like his photo now.
at some point, Facebook needs to get regulated. Twitter needs to get regulated. Do you regulate the entire internet, or is that considered a
Regulated
free
how?
service?
Fuck yeah.
Because then there's the free speech
The
fucking world.
Starship Enterprise regulate the whole galaxy. So we need to
I
regulate
know this is
the
the,
internet.
this is the hard.
Fuck
This is
that.
the conundrum.
No,
This
it's
is the
not a
con-
conundrum.
No, what
This
JP
is
just said. What JP just said.
that?
Like, this is the conflict I'm having.
It's not a
within
conflict.
myself,
Now you're
is that-
stepping into the free speech world.
Because you are. You're stepping all over free speech here.
Okay.
So it's like
But it's
there's-
like, you know,
the
how do you
history- listen,
how do you get it
the
into the you
history-
can't scream fire in a
Listen,
crowded theater? You know what I mean?
The
Like,
history of our rights is that they are absolute till they hurt people. You just gave me an example about anorexic people, blah, blah. Your ability to free speech is until you hurt someone. When you yell fire in a place, you are creating a commotion that can then hurt people.
Right.
And that is now when that freedom gets curtailed. This freedom has been run amok. The kids have
Because
been
the
running
problem
around the
is-
house for way too long, and everyone needs to sit
You don't
the
wanna know
fuck
what the
down,
problem- why
which is
that's a
why
problem?
they're going to Congress anyway.
You want to know why it's a problem? Because
Who decides
the problem is the other
parameters?
side.
No,
Yeah,
the problem is
who
who
gets
decides the
hurt.
parameters?
Like the
parameters,
people
but-
getting hurt, all of a sudden get hurt by more. Then they get hurt by a little more. Then they get hurt by a little more. It's like, ooh, well, if I can't do that, now I'm offended by this, and
Listen,
that's where that took amok as well.
I'm
That,
with you,
they
but
both weren't run
JP,
amok.
Even the Wild Wild West had sheriffs. I rooted for all the bad guys, but
I know.
they had sheriffs. The idea,
yeah, right. So you're saying there should be some form of
100%.
cyber policing,
Yeah,
or
'cause let me-
They have
there
that.
is, there is.
Bro,
You know.
And the problem with that is it's also subjective. And what happens when you have a bunch of people who are very, very left-leaning only? They're
So
going to
you
go, well,
create a-
there's not a problem with that, but I have a problem with that.
So you create a fair panel. You create a fair panel. Jesse, let's put
I
it
know.
like this. Let's put it like this. I made a post like maybe 2 months ago when everybody was going crazy with the
Yeah, it's tough. It's hard.
save our children and this and that. Everybody was going crazy. Meanwhile, their kids, you are on Facebook telling me to save the children and how could I vote for this guy? Meanwhile, you're 13-year-olds on TikTok doing God knows what. Stop talking to me.
Yeah.
And go look at her phone right now.
Yep.
So my point is, someone has to control that because it's obviously can't be. And you said it the best. The parents are addicts. Everyone's addicts. Yo, I'm sure there's some politicians who aren't, but I'm willing to bet there's a politician that are stuck. They're on the Kool-Aid too.
Yeah, no, big tech is the new cartel, and they're feeding us heroin
All day.
all day,
All day.
You know,
And it's what I tell people all the time.
and it's hard to turn it off.
You know
Listen,
why?
I shut all my notifications off, and I did it. I tried. I said, and I'm not. I don't think that I'm a phone addict, right? Like you guys
no,
have called me.
by no means are you.
Right, like you guys call me,
Me,
like, I'll
yes.
get back to my texts and I'll go, oh shit, I got 27 texts from these guys, you know, and then I have to like comb through and then fucking respond. So I know I'm not even that bad. There are people that are way worse
You know
than I
why?
am.
Because you have to understand.
And I feel it.
I know, but you get everything from it. Like even, okay.
I
for
caught
me to
myself
get-
the other day shunning off Avely. I was like, Avely, just give me 1 second. I'll be right there. Because I'm sitting there and I'm watching a stupid fucking video, you know?
No,
oh,
but-
sorry. Closer. You know what I mean? And that's where when I noticed it, I went, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Click. I threw my phone across the countertop and I went, let's go. Let's go do this. Let's go do
Listen.
it. You know?
Listen.
Lead by example.
But you had the wherewithal to catch yourself.
Yeah, but I didn't at first.
I know, but
It
you know
took
what it
me
is?
a couple minutes, you know, and then I was just like, oh, yo,
Because
this is exactly
You know
it,
why? Because you have a frame of reference that's older.
because I needed that
That
one last
allows
hit.
you.
I needed that one last
but
hit, Gene.
You have a frame of reference that allows you to not to understand what it was like. Like these kids were born
Right,
on
I
drugs.
grew up
They're
without-
like,
right,
right. So
Especially our generation.
Yeah,
we have
we're
a
the
unique
last-
generation.
We weren't fed heroin.
Yes,
at
we are the
3
last.
years old.
We are the last people
Yeah.
that can actually speak out about this, because the same way we would make fun of people when we had our Nintendos and we tell our parents leave us alone.
Yeah.
they're doing that to us, but we have to explain to them how deep this is. Like this
This is worse than
Ooh,
Nintendo.
I'm so
That's what I'm saying. This
mad.
rabbit hole.
I was
Way
so
different.
This
mad
rabbit hole
when
is deeper than ever. Like, and
they bought my daughter a Kindle for Christmas.
to read.
Who's they?
I don't. It was either my mom or my mother-in-law.
They is a very
I don't remember which
subjective
one.
term.
One of the grandmothers. I don't remember which one it was.
We gotta bring
bought
back
Avery a
bookstores.
Kindle, right, for Christmas a few years ago. And at first it was just like, oh yeah, that's cute. You know, she could play a little fucking matchmaking kid game, and whatever. And then all of a sudden she finds YouTube. And then she's watching all those fucking YouTube shows, and now she's like addicted. She comes home from school.
Oh, my
It's
God.
can I watch my videos? And it's now I hide it. I hide her Kindle from her. She had a meltdown. She'll melt down. Where? It's Avery. It's yours. You got to keep. I don't know what you
Such
did
a
with it.
dick. I love it.
Big government.
Keep track of your shit.
Big government.
I got
Big
no
government
idea.
right there.
I go,
Big government.
You look at your brother's outside playing in the dirt. Why don't you go play with your brother outside? Okay. And then she's out there for over an hour with
Which
him,
is good, yeah.
and it's great. And it's just I don't feel like I'm not being mean. I'm not.
I get it. No, we get it.
I've acknowledged the problem that I created by allowing her to have it. You know
Of
what
course.
I'm saying?
You know what it is?
You're the rehab facility.
I'm trying to be.
But you know, it's true with big tech. What they're good at is they give false solutions. Like parents everywhere go through this. I see parents stick iPads in their kids' face all the
think about
time.
it.
Like
Shut
kids
them up,
crying.
Gene, I
They
think
shut them
about
up.
you.
I
think about you every fucking morning because I remember you saying this to me, and you said it in a way. This was like before we started the podcast. You said this to me in a way that it stuck on me, where I was just like, "Yo, you're right." And every time I handed one of my kids a tablet, you popped up in my head, right? And now it's like it gets even worse because it's every single Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm saying, Avery, you have to stop playing. You need to get on your tablet.
That's crazy.
Because now she has to sit in front of her tablet and do virtual school.
Wow.
So now it's like they're forcing kids
To get you
be
addicted-
here.
to be addicted
the
to it.
teachers are, and now this is no fault to the teachers. I'm just saying, but the teachers are not prescribing. What's the word? I'm issuing lessons. Prescribing. It should be
Yeah,
prescribing.
yeah.
You're fucking giving us drugs. But the teachers are issuing YouTube videos that they have to watch, right? And then if I'm doing work, like I'm remodeling the house, I'll help Avery out. I'll get her all set up. She knows how to navigate and do what she's got to do. And but then boom, she watches the issued YouTube video. And then there's the recommendations, and
Click,
there are all the
clickety,
pop-ups,
click,
and then
click,
she's sitting there and
clickety.
she goes click, and she'll watch another video there, and it's like I'm looking back thinking it's still schoolwork.
You can say
and-
what you want. Their recommendation sometimes is on point.
Yo, definitely, no
Of course,
doubt,
of
yo,
course.
without a
The
doubt.
science-
Bro, it's like,
I
holy
found some of my new favorite artists because of
The
YouTube
science
recommendations,
is not, the science
but
is not flawed. They know what they're doing.
I found my favorite sports show because of
but
it.
that's the thing is that it wasn't designed to be evil. And it's just that again,
To make more
AI,
money.
a machine does not have feeling and thought like that. It
I agree,
just
but-
has statistic and data.
The people behind the AI went for maximum reach and maximum pull, which is
Well, I
how
think
we got here.
I think,
Well,
like I said, is that
yeah, he's
they're at
saying
a
that,
point
but-
now is that they can't shut it off. They don't know how to control it. They can't control it. They created
could.
a beast, right? Short of
I don't think they have to completely listen. Rise
Gene,
of the
short-
Machines.
short of boom.
I don't think we're at terminated Rise of the Machines yet.
no,
we're pretty
we
damn
You
are.
close.
see the Facebook basement, Gene,
Listen,
right? Like
basement. They got buildings for it.
that's what you know what I meant. Like that
There's no
warehouse that
basements.
is just fucking.
That's one
It's like a mile
warehouse.
long of just computers.
It's one warehouse.
yeah,
One warehouse.
Scary.
Terminator Rise of Machines.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean-
someone get John Connor. It's kind of gets going down.
It's
R.I.P. Sean Connery.
Yeah.
so that's your basis on the election. How the hell did we get into this? We were talking about the
I
election.
don't know, man. Oh, we were supposed to. I fucked that up. I was just like, I just want to bring up this
Well,
one more point.
okay,
You're right.
so
So the
the-
election. You want to get into this? You
I'll
want
get
to?
into
You want to
it.
jump back in?
All right,
Might as
You got
well. It
another
is
thing- you got something
tomorrow.
else to say?
The election is weird because, so the last 3 or 4 episodes, I think I've tried to highlight what each one has positive, sort of,
Yeah.
I've talked about the Platinum Plan. I've talked about Kamala Harris being able to amend her wrongs or whatever. Da-da. But I kind of want to go into the worst things people are saying about these people as they get voted tomorrow, because I'm just amazed about a lot of stuff. One, Joe Biden can't speak. I don't know if I truly believe this. I don't believe this. I've seen enough videos that people send me, and I mean, they're good ones. I'm not going to fucking lie. Like, it sounds like he's stuttering and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, is this real?
Falling off.
77-year-old man who's hopped up on drugs. Of course he's
And
going to
that's another thing
stutter.
I hear. That, like someone told me yesterday, they have to put him on drugs so he can talk normal.
They
I'm
say
like,
that about, but they
Oh,
say.
okay, hold on,
they
hold on.
say
Let's
that
clarify
about,
this.
I'm like, what drug is that?
Gene,
that makes people,
when people
Ritalin.
say that, like it's not like they're feeding them lines of cocaine
No,
in
I
the
know
back
that.
to get them all.
I'm assuming it's some sort of medicine, but what medicine makes you?
But then I found out
They give
exactly what
smelling
JP
salt?
said.
What?
No, it's
Is it Ritalin?
Ritalin.
No, what's the other one?
Ambien, I mean.
No,
Ambien.
what? Ambien put you to sleep.
Not
bro.
Ambien. No, it was Ritalin. It was Diet Coke. Is what someone said. Oh yeah, give him the Diet Coke because that's fine.
No, what's the other
What?
one? What's the other one that people take to focus? Not Ritalin. Why am I drawing a blank?
Yeah, no, I know.
students.
Adderall.
Adderall,
Thank
yeah.
you. Jesus Christ,
Okay,
that would have
so-
killed me. But that's
so-
what they say. They say
Yeah,
the
that's
same
what I
thing
meant.
about
Not
Trump.
Ritalin, Adderall.
They say the
Yeah.
same thing about Trump, though.
That Trump takes Adderall.
Yeah,
or something, some kind of-
guys.
Hey, if you ever went to college,
This stuff is weird to
Adderall
me
works.
because,
You know?
because
CEOs use it too.
this
I'm
stuff
sure.
is weird
Everyone fucking
because
uses
we're
Adderall.
talking about a potential leader of free will. Then I have to deal with if Donald Trump's in office.
Does that bother you? Because I want to ask you now. Because this, I want to do this. Because I really want to.
What bothers me
Would
is
it bother you if you had a president that took Adderall to stay up and stay focused and do a good job? Would that bother you?
to a degree because it's a little immature on me, my thinking, but I am a little old school in that I want to believe that the guy for the job is competent on his own merit. It's almost like asking me if my favorite athlete is on
you feel
stage.
like
And then it
that's-
glorifies Adderall.
Do you feel like it's naive?
You know what I mean? It
in
glorifies
a
it.
sense?
It's not even on my part, but I don't want to
Yeah,
hear
I feel what you're saying there.
I
It
don't
could
want to hear
glorify
that.
it, but-
I don't
President
wanna-
takes it.
I don't want to hear my favorite football player's juices before work. I don't want to hear that. But if he did, and he put a great performance on the field, I should just accept it. But I'm not there yet.
Okay.
But I get the concept, and in theory, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Okay. Then I have to deal with if Donald Trump wins the election, there's a potential for a civil war. And I'm like, how? Because he's already the president.
I mean, I feel like it both ways.
No.
If
Well,
Biden
no,
wins, there's
we'll go back to that.
Okay.
We'll go back to that because with
There'll be a lot of pissed off people
yes,
either way.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
But with Donald Trump, the illusion, the information that I'm being forced to receive is that there's a rise of a bunch of people who were pissed off for a long time who are more armed, more vocal, and more upset than ever. And they're not going back into the closet. So, and Donald Trump basically has no control over them. Like, he thinks he does, but he really doesn't. So those guys at any given time can do whatever. Classic example, recently, there were, I don't know if you know about this, but there were like some Trump drivers that they blocked some roadways and then they surrounded a Biden bus. Yeah, it's like, I know.
It's like just falling right into the same trap that you get pissed at them.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like,
but that's
you
my
do it?
point.
No, I'm gonna do it.
that's hilarious.
No,
And listen,
if they just did it to bust balls-
if it was flipped around, it was a bunch of
if that was
Biden.
a Black Lives Matter bus,
No, I'm saying.
forget about it.
Oh yeah, that's true. But no, I'm saying if it was a bunch of like Black Lives Matters truckers that
Yes.
surrounded the Trump campaign bus,
They got
I'd
shot.
still think that shit was. I'd still think it's hilarious.
If it's just
All
to
right.
bust balls, it's absolutely hilarious. But if it gets violent and it gets to the point
Well,
where
of
you're trying to be,
course.
then it's fucking like, come on.
And then here's another one, right?
Playing each other's dumb games.
Right.
So now we're going back to the worst of.
Political violence is not where we're at.
I
We
don't say
don't.
it's not the answer.
It's not the
answer for
answer.
us right now, but it's been the answer throughout history. I'm just
But
saying.
not yet. We're not
for America,
there
though.
yet.
Not for America.
We're not there yet.
Yeah. Okay, so
this
now
could be mended.
back to the worst shit I have to process as I deal with this. So we just went to Trump, so I have to go back to Biden. So now, Biden.
Wait. You're taking it. You're putting in a negative on Trump that truckers surrounded Biden's bus.
No, I'm putting a negative.
Weren't
that-
you just on Biden?
No, I went to Trump. Biden was the last thing I said about Biden was
Couldn't talk.
the mental mental capability. When I went to Trump, the illusion of what I'm being fed is that there'll be a racist.
Oh, okay,
civil war
okay,
type.
okay.
And then
Okay.
that was just
Yeah,
an
I'm
example.
back
of
on
it.
track now.
Okay.
Yep,
so
I'm
now
there.
going back to Biden, I have to deal with which he said himself that if need be, there'd be a national mask mandate. Now, that's not what bothers me. What bothers me about it is I read between that line that
He'll shut down.
yes,
Yeah.
I
No,
believe,
he said that he'll shut down again.
I believe he'll shut down again. But even worse than that,
Even though the WHO admitted that that's not a good idea and that they don't want that.
I agree.
Fuck the WHO. First of all, when did
No,
we?
it wasn't. It was the CDC that said. Well, one of them said we didn't agree with shutdowns.
Listen,
I think it was the WHO who did because the CDC, I believe, did.
Bo don't
agree
know
with him.
shit because Bo can't rap.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
But so actually, who don't know shit because who can't rap?
That's right.
So now I'm like, by default, just logical reasoning, if there was a vaccine, would Biden make a national
Mandate?
Vaccine mandate?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like these are things.
I think that
but I'm
him-
not saying he
I think
is,
he
he's
already
not.
said it.
I'm not saying he is.
They both would.
Yeah, I think he's already said
I
it.
think you're getting that either way.
I don't know. I think Trump.
Trump wouldn't make it
No,
mandatory.
Trump would do. No,
You don't think so?
No,
No.
Trump would do it, but Trump is a weird fellow to me.
I mean, who knows? You know what? You're right. I take that back.
I think Trump.
I don't know.
I don't think
Trump
Trump
has certainly fucking proven his leftism a few times throughout his 4 years.
I don't think Trump would do it. I think that the
his
administration.
authoritarian.
I don't think Trump would communicate it, but I think his administration would. It's the same thing with masks. Donald Trump is horrible with the masks, but the message from the top, as colluded as it is that you need to wear masks. It came from Fauci, it came from the other lady, but Mike Pence and Donald Trump were kind of like the last to join the party. You get what I'm saying? And that's kind of so.
The way they handle relationships sometimes is just so
I know because
fucking annoying.
you know
It's
this
just
because
like,
as leaders they can't
this
get
guy's
together.
talking next to him, and then all of a sudden it's fuck that guy. And it's
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
you know what I mean?
And-
Which sometimes it's okay to do that to call someone out, but
It's
when
not
you're just
good during a
notoriously
crisis.
doing that, yeah,
no, but it's
just-
not good during a
there's
crisis.
ways to go about it.
And the reason why this is important is there's upticks going around the world right now. There's an uptick in Europe. Britain is about
Germany
to
shut
shut down.
down, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that means that this is here to stay. We're not going away.
This
And
is fucking crazy.
I know. So now I have to
But
deal.
the same thing happened with the Spanish flu. There was a re-emergence of it.
I'm fair-
The same exact
I
way.
agree, but-
like everyone
but-
said it was going to happen in
I
the
know-
winter. Same
I know, but-
shit.
But
I don't know
JB,
anyone's shocked.
But
Why are we
JB,
shutting down again, though?
we have the number one. We have the most deaths on record because I don't know about the other countries actually being honest about their numbers. But on record, we have the number one.
I
It's
hate
unfair,
that,
though. It's unfair.
I hate it.
I know I hate it too, but
All right, let's. How about this?
40%
Let's
of
take
them
the square.
are-
Let's
I get
take-
it. Some of
nursing
them are-
homes.
No,
listen,
no.
I get
That's
some
not
of
my
them are
problem. My problem is if you put
I'm saying
America,
40% of our numbers
if you
are
put
all from nursing
If you
homes.
put the United States over Europe, that's like fucking how many countries?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them,
I
yeah, a
agree.
bunch.
So connect all of those countries.
I've said that from
and then
day
give
one.
me that number.
Yep, I've said that from day
you
one.
know, I may do that.
And when
I
you
may
do
try- I
that,
may
when
try
you
to
do
do that.
that,
Give me that number then.
we're dead middle.
I know,
Sure.
but my point is, I'm not even debating that. My issue is,
Like if you take the mile radius of the United States and put that over,
no, I get it. I
yeah,
get exactly
we're
what you're
dead
saying.
middle.
I learned how much bigger our country was when I met someone on my honeymoon who was from the UK. He's from Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
England, actually. He was
England's
from.
like the size
and when
of
I tell
New
him,
York.
when I tell him that we were touring in a band, and that it would take like 24 hours. He's like 24 hours. I'd be in Asia. like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Like, he would go through from one end of the country to the other in 5 hours.
They also
Oh,
have,
yeah.
they have those.
We're
That's
not
what I'm
even out of
saying.
the fucking
I
state
think
sometimes.
England is like the size of New York.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, they have high powered trains and shit too.
But it's not the point.
Yeah,
Go on.
but-
I'm sorry. I digress.
No. But my whole point on that is like, I can't. One thing the Democrats have done a great job with is they've drilled in my head that this was not handled well. Now, I'm not saying I personally feel it other than the fact that everyone's wearing masks everywhere I go and shit is shut down. So now with that feeling, because remember, this is what I'm trying to make you understand is the different feelings I'm getting from the camps, what they've done in their marketing strategy about the presidencies. So now the feeling is if there's upticks and we're not over this and it's still going, are we going, if Donald Trump were to win, is he going to do a better job moving forward or is it more of the same with Corona?
But which countries handled it well, and did they
There's
reemerge?
one, like New Zealand.
But that's my point. Did they reemerge?
Yeah, New Zealand.
So point being
Sweden didn't initiate any mandates, no mask mandates, no social distancing, no nothing.
Did they
and they're
not?
right in the middle, just like everyone
Sweden
else.
was definitely by random,
Again,
like my management style.
My point
I was
is,
in the office.
Germany,
No, I'm
was it
joking.
considered handled well? With Great Britain, did they consider handling it well?
Actually, the Asian countries,
Did they?
South Korea did well.
They wore masks anyway.
Can I
They don't
throw
give a
this out
fuck.
here?
Go ahead.
All right. So I was talking to my family about this, and I had brought this up to one of my uncles like months ago when we were talking about it, and just like one of the concerns for me was that so we're forcing people to wear masks right now, right, and it's blocking all germs at this point. Right, so it's like our natural.
So get no immunity to nothing.
I feel
We'll
like
have
that.
zero immunity to anything.
What happens when flu season comes around and we need our immune system to be at its
They were
strongest?
talking about that they've been talking about that.
Who?
They've been
I haven't heard anyone bring this
Yeah,
up.
the doctors have been saying that for months.
What have they been saying?
That your natural immunity, you're not going to build up a natural immunity to certain things. I've been hearing about
this
that
has
shit
been
for
my
months.
fucking stance on masks from day one. I get it. If you want to mandate people to wear them inside in like small doors or whatever.
But I
fine,
feel like
sure.
people are doing that anyway. You go
But-
outside, you're not wearing that shit.
Bro, when we went pumpkin picking, I was looked at like I had fucking
He's still
15
mad about
heads.
that.
But
I'm still-
did you get kicked out for it? Was there a mandate in that pumpkin patch to
No.
wear it? Then
No, but right, sure. I don't really care. Whatever. But,
There you go.
Okay, my point is
Fuck 'em.
that it's that. All right, so y'all know that like I jumped off the Trump train a while ago,
yes,
right? What he had to say about coronavirus and moving forward almost makes me want to jump back on, because I agree wholeheartedly with the whole herd immunity thing. Right, that whole concept.
I believe in it.
It's not going.
It's survival of the fittest, but
It's a fucking
that's
virus.
what it is, but
What are we gonna do? We're gonna mask up? We're gonna shelter ourselves inside for the next however many years? Until what? Until we're all so frail and weak that, you know what I mean, the next one comes along, just wipes us out completely? No, fuck that. I think that one of the best cases should be go get coronavirus, fucking get over it, and you're good to go. I know that's a very ignorant statement to say, but like the primitive side of me just feels like
you're getting fatigued from the whole fucking thing.
That's what
like
I've
everyone
been
else is.
fatigued
That's
from
what
the
I
whole
mean.
thing. You
I've
know
been
that.
fatigued
I
a month
feel
in.
like-
I said it from day one. 14 days to flatten the curve. It's going to turn into 2
No,
months
but-
real quick. No, it's not. You're out of your fucking
But
mind.
Jesse-
The government would never do this.
It'll turn into 2 years real
Yeah.
quick.
Like, come on.
yeah, but Jesse,
But
the do we gotta do another restaurant analogy on this one real quick?
do it.
Okay.
Here we go.
You know, if you put a plan and you don't execute the plan and shit don't work, you can't be mad. Like, this is the same shit we went through all the time with managers, or even when I was a manager, or when I was an employee. All right, this is what we're gonna do. And then they fucking pull the service bartender, make them run food for fucking 2 hours, and then they're like, why is the bar blowing up? Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, you just took like 14 days. Yo, holy shit. If the country could have just did it together, it may have worked. But instead,
It wouldn't have though.
Gene,
The
no.
one country.
and on top of that, the curve was.
You think that
the
if
curve-
every person in the country wore a mask for those 14 days, coronavirus goes away?
No, I'm not even talking about the mask. I think that if the quarantine was executed correctly in the beginning.
You think it just goes away?
No, I don't think it goes
Okay.
away. I think we would.
'Cause it doesn't.
No, I think.
I'm just talking about.
I think that if they quarantine correctly, what happens is we would have did a better job of contact tracing. We would have figured out who has it. I think one of the biggest issues we had in this whole beginning, we never knew who the fuck had it. We never knew who the fuck had it.
That was the big deal of the disease in the first place.
Exactly. So
The virus, I'm sorry, I said
so the
disease.
big problem we never solved. We just kept going
agree
around it.
with this.
The biggest problem with the virus was the incubation period.
And
Regardless
the
of what you want to say,
asymptomatic
it
people.
was.
And
People
the-
didn't know
yeah,
what the fuck it was, and
yes.
also the
Like the mask is nothing.
I think the biggest part of the coronavirus is the fear and politicization of it. How it was politicized.
Oh, here we go.
No,
that shit up, son.
Because again, if you look at these numbers and you see that 40% of deaths all came from one area.
Listen, I will throw you the bone that
I'm not talking about deaths and everything. I was just talking about getting it.
I'm just saying, no one wants to get sick,
listen,
right?
I'll throw you the bone that the Democratic Party, knowing how Trump would respond to this, kind of just said, fuck it. It's his watch. He's going to have to burn with this.
Of course.
I get that. But my answer to that...
And that's what's disgusting.
Yeah, but my answer to that is this. Donald Trump specifically... One of the reasons why he was elected is the thought process was he will hire the best people, he will let the best people do their jobs, except for this one. Like, why didn't... I'm not saying Dr. Fauci is the end-all and be-all, but I would rather hear from him than Mike Pence. I'm sorry. Like, I would rather hear from the doctor. You know what I'm saying?
But you did. Throughout the whole shutdowns, all you heard was Fauci.
Lied.
And then no, then it got real sloppy. He didn't lie.
He didn't lie?
No, the science
If
changed.
you want to...
No, he didn't lie. Are you sure he didn't lie?
About which one?
About the masks?
Yeah, but do you know that him and...
He got caught, Gene.
He lied. He admitted to lying. He said, I lied.
Okay,
so
but-
there's no debate.
No, I
It
don't,
basically
I
is
don't
like...
think it's a debate, but I know
basically,
that, I know that him and the U.S.
You guys
Surgeon
needed a
General
false sense of
flip-flop.
security, so this is why I said it.
Can I tell you something? Ask anyone who knows me about masks. You know what I tell people about masks all the time? I was like, I don't know if they work. I said, the only thing I get from the mask is that you are forcefully now thinking about coronavirus. So you're not moving about your day like it doesn't exist.
I just disagree.
That's how I interpret it.
Sure, and I think that's where we've gone wrong. Is that we should all just move about our days like coronavirus doesn't exist.
Really?
Like it's just like the flu, because it is. It's just like any other virus that we have going around. This is going to be a really bad flu season.
Or we could really
know
wash
that.
our hands and not be up on people.
Yes.
Social distance. Like,
Fuck this. Like, why do you keep throwing out all these stupid terms? Guess what? We're not social distance. Do you want to do this podcast 6 feet apart from each other, Gene?
Yeah, but
no, you're
Do you
comfortable
want to look
here.
like the jackasses on NBC with the extended mic? Or was it NBC or one of them
but-
CBS?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
On the football field with the
Come
6-foot
on.
mic?
You know that.
you wash
And
your
the
hands.
mask.
I take
washes
care of
hands.
myself.
You take care of a
JP,
bunch of kids.
we all
You
take
guys
care
are
of
clean.
ourselves.
So I get it, but you are taking us and applying it to the whole country.
Yes.
It's not real. That's not real. I don't think the whole country's clean. I don't think all of New York is clean.
It's not your problem.
Yes, it is if you come in my space.
Problem with New York
Okay.
is also it's the melting pot. And people were flying in from other countries. It wasn't
Well,
going to happen.
Don't get me started.
But,
about
but
that
my
too,
point is,
because we should have locked the borders down completely.
right? And then
Because
you're
guess what?
racist.
Guess what? I read today. Guess
a
what?
xenophobe
I
and a
read
something
today-
else phobe.
I read today.
So
if
over
you're flying
it.
from
I'm just
New York,
exhausted from.
if you're flying to New York now, you have to quarantine. But it got rid of the different states that, like the state list that.
That state list changes literally every
No,
day.
but now it's gone. But if you come here, you got to quarantine.
Just it doesn't matter where you come from.
Jess, when are you going to come back down and tour in Florida? I don't fucking know. I would love to, but I literally can't.
You can now.
I literally can't quarantine for another 26 days when I get back.
It's not
I literally
26.
can't. I know that.
I know what happened.
But it is. Because I
can
was
be.
quarantined for 26 days in July.
Because
by the
multiple
state
people
government.
had in secession.
I think July, my
It's
friend.
all
July.
it's all blown out of proportion, in my opinion. People are fucking crazy now. Like Melissa was talking to me about this morning, right? Because she saw in one of her little mom groups on Facebook there, they all talk. Someone had asked, like, what precautions do you take when your kids come home from school? And she's like, you will not believe some of these comments.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta hear these. These are my
They
favorite.
spray the
Oh my
kids
God.
down.
I love
Shoes
it.
off
I love it.
outside. You got to
Ah,
strip down.
yeah.
You go right into the shower. You wipe down your backpack, every single one of your books. You're letting your fucking 5-year-old hold Clorox wipes and wipe down her own shit because you won't touch it. Out
Even
of
though
fear
they
like,
said it doesn't live on surfaces like that.
what is happening?
And once again, this is why
We need George Carlin
Everyone
back.
stopped spraying down their mail. More people didn't get sick from it.
I know.
We
but my
need
point is,
George Carlin back.
My point is, as the science evolves, the fear should dissipate. But
It was good.
As the what? As the what?
as the
Virus
as the science evolves, the fear.
I heard something
But
different.
what happened is, to me,
Well, that's never going to happen because social
Why?
media doesn't make money off of.
Exactly.
They make money off of fear.
and that's what, so as Americans,
As well
it's-
as regular
That's why
media.
every single thing you touch on here has a COVID banner, COVID-19 banner, COVID updates, COVID.
We care about our customers. You're a bank. Just make sure my money doesn't go away. Fuck
Right.
you. Like, what
Yeah.
are you gonna do to help me?
Stop
called
gambling my money on the stock market.
It's called marketing.
I know. No, I know why
Give
they
me
do it.
health advice.
I'm not. I know exactly why they're doing it, Gene. I'm just making a. I'm just making a joke.
Going a little bit back, but I was just giving you an example of all the things that they spent a year pushing on people as they have to decide on who they want to vote.
Let me
for
ask you
president,
this.
right? Did I miss anything major?
No.
We got racism, we got coronavirus, we got
Xenophobia.
xenophobia, speech impediment, we got
Anything ist and anything phobia.
and then we got the full
Put it down the list.
And then we got the full circle of Ukraine
It's a
because
circle.
it's a circle because remember Donald Trump was impeached for what?
We didn't even
A
talk
phone
about
call
Joe Biden. I mean,
of-
Hunter Biden's crack.
Donald-
No, we're not doing sink or swim. Just
Yeah.
go.
Donald,
Fuck it.
Donald Trump was impeached because he made a phone call to
Hunter Biden's boss.
basically to put pressure on Ukraine to give him the dirt on Joe, which I mean, fuck it. At that point, I probably did some shit like that too. Give me the dirt. I keep it real. I would have did it.
Bro, they do it all the
Ukraine
time.
was
He
like,
just
we're
got
not rolling
caught.
on the big
Yeah,
guy.
because
The
realistically-
big guy who gets 10%. We're not rolling on him.
Realistically, it's not that bad because they did spy on Donald Trump when he was in the.
And that this
So,
actually
like,
can turn back. This can.
it's all
Gene,
fair game.
Gene, here's
It's
the
all fair
circle.
game.
Here's the circle to
Yeah.
fucking to social media and why they're always now getting grilled, and what I mean by they're too big. Now,
They're
the
picking and
Hunter
choosing.
Biden story.
Yep.
They could say suppress it.
Suppress it.
There was a.
Don't run that.
There was a.
Delete it.
And
Delete
there's,
that.
There's
Flag
companies.
it as fake
Actually,
news.
Joe
Which
Rogan. Hold
editors
on.
used to do.
Joe Rogan
Yeah.
did. Joe Rogan put up a post talking about. There was a journalist who got fired
Yeah.
from a company because he wouldn't detract all the bad shit he said about Joe Biden. They said, if you don't take that out, we're not running it, and you're done. And he was like, no, I'm not doing
He
it.
fought for journalistic integrity.
At least someone is.
Yeah, but you got to.
You have to.
You're going to
Gene.
start
That right
drinking
there.
that Kool-Aid, and then when next thing you know, everything's edited, and now no one can say something bad about your guy. Why?
I'm with
Fuck
you, but if
Like,
You know what
wanna do
happens
that,
when that
you-
doesn't happen,
If you want
Gene?
to do that, you got to
Gene,
get.
You have
You're
an entire
okay.
generation of people that think a
that-
sitting American president thinks that all Mexicans are racists, murderers, and rapists. I meant rapists and murderers. Like you literally, we have a generation of people that think that the current sitting United States president thinks that Mexicans are rapists and murderers.
and likes Goya.
when he said
I'm
that,
just saying.
that's all they did was the
no,
way
I-
it was worded. They twisted
No,
it,
no, they
but
took
they
a
did
clip.
the same thing. And I defended Trump on this because
The Charlottesville.
no,
Oh.
when he was talking about the economy or whatever, and it was right after George Floyd died, and then a fucking reporter goes, "So you're saying that George Floyd is looking down on us, saying, wow, what a great economy?" And Trump was like, I didn't even say anything about George. And then next thing you know, there was headlines, people
Yeah, I
posting
saw
it,
that.
and then I went.
But I ignored that. I
And
knew that
again,
didn't make sense.
but here's the thing. Then people were posting, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get in on this one because I even said 1,000 times I'm not a Trump fan because I'm not. I'm not a fan of his.
yeah, I got you.
But I wrote that because you have to if you're going to say something positive about anything. And then sure as shit, someone's like, I thought you were a Trump fan and you were Trump. I was like, no, I'm telling you what you wrote and what you posted was a flat out lie, and you're okay with that. And
Well,
they
that's the
got mad
thing.
at me because they thought I was defending Trump. I go, I'm not defending Trump. I'm defending journalism here, where you're fucking just stabbing it right now, right in the
Did I
dick.
say something though?
But that's the problem, though.
No, but the problem is, and this is why
That is the problem.
The problem isn't
Donald
that
Trump is
people
such a
don't
he's
care.
He's an interesting character because he's similar to Kanye. They spew things like the concept of fake news is real.
I know.
Very real.
I just did it. I told you
I know,
with my
but you
experience.
see the difference. Is
It was literal
the
fake
difference
news.
is how you explain it versus how Donald Trump goes about it. The way Donald Trump is perceived is that if you disagree with him it's fake news.
Right. That's
What
obviously.
what he wants to say is the coverage of me is fake news.
You know what I have to say to this?
You guys pick and choose what I say and bend and twist it towards it. But he should also be.
Can't we just not like a guy to not like a guy? Do we have to make
Right.
shit up and be like, oh, well, here's why you should hate him?
It's funny
You
you
know
say
why?
this because I
Because
said
we
this.
stupid.
I said this to one of my
but we-
aunts,
go ahead.
who's like just like a hardcore dem. You know, like a hardcore dem, blue no matter who type person. I love her to death. Doesn't matter, right?
Oh,
but
no one says that anymore. I love her no matter what.
Terrible.
oh yeah,
People will tell
You
you
hear
you
that,
should.
guys?
People will tell you you shouldn't talk to her anymore.
Don't judge me for voting for Kanye. Go ahead.
Yo, speaking another one,
Don't judge me for voting
my
for Kanye.
mom's side of the family.
They gonna vote for Kanye?
No, but I
Oh.
said that I was in like a family text, right?
Yeah.
And they all went nuts.
All right, don't
All of
fall
them
off
went
the other
nuts.
one though. What was,
Go
the,
ahead.
what was the, your aunt?
Oh, yeah, what was I saying?
Ah, this motherfucker.
You should say, why, Sway?
Your aunt.
You ain't
What
got all
about
the
him?
answers,
Oh
Sway.
yeah, it was something about Trump. Yeah, I don't fucking remember now.
No, we were saying, I was saying.
'cause I haven't smoked yet today.
I was saying Trump and fake news and how they always make him look bad, but realistically, he adds to it because he does say questionable things, but they do. You know this? He
I
makes
love
it,
the emptiness in his gaze right
makes
now.
it easy.
I see it, but I also know him very well.
he
I
makes it,
forgot what I was saying.
he makes it easy for fake news to exist. And he doesn't own
I know
that.
people are
He
just
doesn't own
doing
that
it
part.
because they're like, we need to get him in trouble. It's like a gaggle of bitches
But this
being
is
like, we
poli-
don't like her, so you don't
Yeah,
have,
but
you
this
can't
is-
like her
okay,
either.
listen. This is
Right.
okay. Politics.
It's like Mean Girls.
Listen,
Yeah.
politics
Yeah.
is a dirty game. Donald Trump came in, I won't say like a white shining knight, not at all, but he came in as in, fuck this, I'm going to buck the system. And the system was like, oh yeah, we're just getting started. And that's why, if you notice, what did he say?
It's overcompensation.
He says, every single day of
Oh,
my
I
life
got it.
since I became president, you guys have been after me. Yeah, hell yeah. Every
Yeah.
single day. Because he
But that's
came
every
in-
president too.
No,
though.
that's
No,
not,
no,
and
it's
that's not
He
true.
He came to
Never has a president been attacked
Bro,
in like this. But this is
He
what
came to bug the system.
Go ahead.
And they-
Obama got bitched at for wearing a tan suit.
I
Like,
agree.
I mean, come on. Where do
They
we
didn't like
well,
his
in his
swag.
second,
He
that
had
was his
swag.
second term,
All right,
and that
but
was the
still,
rise.
like,
That was the
really?
rise of social media. Even
Yeah,
more people got it
listen,
on their
the guy had
phones, and
swag,
yeah,
they
you
hated
know.
the
yeah.
Bob. It's the Bob.
This is what I was going to say though. So I was saying to my aunt, right, is that what I hear from her and from most, left-leaning libs is not the thing they don't like about Trump, and most of the things that I hear throughout the media
Good.
is never anything policy based.
that's
It's
my
never
point.
anything political. It's always he hurt our feelings. We don't like the way that he speaks. Can you believe what he tweeted today? Can you believe that he would say such vile things?
Have you ever opened up the comment section on one of his tweets?
Yeah.
It's hilarity.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's hilarity.
It's like literally.
People think that he's reading it. Like, they're like, well, Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
And then they'll just go in and like, really?
Well, he might be, but
You never know.
He's so narcissistic.
All right.
He might be.
Touche. Go on.
But that's what I'm saying is that like so it's when you really break it down, you don't like the person, right?
Yeah, that's what I don't like about
For
him.
whatever you don't like the person,
I
the
don't
way he speaks, his
But I'm not gonna-
mannerisms, or
if he's done something
no
good.
one ever says anything about his policy. No one ever says anything about
But this is
and which also I think is funny is that he's been nominated for his third Nobel Peace Prize for the shit that he
that's
did
happening
in the
overseas,
Middle
yeah.
East. Yeah, for like the peace treaties that him and Jared Kushner have written. Like 100 years wars subsided on a couple of fucking
You don't even hear
words.
about it.
You don't hear about any of that
Well,
stuff.
I don't care.
You don't
true.
ever hear about any of that. And even when the media does
It's because
attack
he's a
him,
racist and he's a
they don't
xenophobe.
ever attack him for policies that were made.
I know, but
They attack him for what he said on Twitter or what he
but-
said at the
but-
podium
but this
You know
is
what I mean?
this is my point, and this is what I was trying to tell you.
fucking weird.
The marketing that they put on us is not once has there been a Biden versus Trump policy argument.
Exactly.
All this is about is
This is what I wanted to
which
ask you.
old white guy do you like more and
love
why?
it.
This is what I wanted to ask you when you brought up coronavirus and the whole plan, because you still need to get back to that. We've strayed
need
so
to.
far from there, but
You
We
just
don't
want to walk
have
around.
to. I kind of just
Well,
totally did it on purpose.
because like
Just like it's fucking walk around, survival of the fittest, and don't come near me.
I agree. Yeah, fucking
That's Jesse's plan.
Darwin
Jesse-
had a great idea, man.
That's not a plan. I get your point, but that's not a plan.
Like Lil Duval said, we in this together, but stay the fuck away from me.
Yes.
Give me someone's plan.
For Corona?
Yeah.
Hello?
No.
This is my beef. They get paid for this.
Where's the plan,
Pay
Joe?
me and I'll make a plan, but they don't pay me for that.
Right, but Joe Biden.
Oh, Joe Biden's
Joe
plan? He's
Biden
talking
and
about-
Kamala. Where's your plan?
Joe Biden's gonna. His plan-
Donald Trump is the worst president because of how my plan would be. Joe, what's your plan?
He's gonna wear masks.
What's your plan?
He's gonna do what we're doing now.
Mask mandates? You're gonna shut down the country again? We did this for the last year.
Good luck.
Didn't work. What else?
Good luck.
At least with Donald Trump here, we know that they're actively working on a vaccine. Not saying I would take it. I also don't take the flu shot. But I'm just saying, the doctor tried to get me to take a flu shot this year. He's like, oh, it's going to be bad this year. I'm like, I'm good, dude. I take zinc. I fucking drink my orange juice in the morning. You know what I mean?
Zinc. What
I
about
do.
vitamin D?
I take vitamin D.
D's nuts.
I started taking B12. I've been taking B12 capsules. They're
Try
fucking
B13.
fantastic.
It's a
No, I'm
little
gonna
better.
put you guys
Yeah.
on to. I'm gonna put you guys
But
on.
no, but
I'll
that's
put you
my
on to
point.
what you
Where-
should be taking.
Gene,
Go ahead.
I don't care about that. I'm asking
need to
you.
take
No,
secret-
this is the
my
election
secret
issue.
sauce.
This is the election
Go ahead.
episode.
Okay.
This is what we're talking about here. What's the plan?
I don't fucking know.
What's
Fuck
the
'em.
plan,
That's
Joe?
what the plan is.
America, what's Joe's plan? I just want to know before I step in the booth tomorrow. Because I'm a real American who only votes on election day.
Come on, man. What does he go? I didn't say. Come on, man. Cut the malarkey, man. Cut the malarkey, man.
But no, seriously, I want to know, really, like, what is his
Oh,
coronavirus
would you
plan?
shut up? I'm sorry. I had to do it.
What is the coronavirus plan? Because
You're
you know
racist.
what? You know what it is, Gene? You know what it is? It's the same fucking plan that Trump had.
Yeah.
It's the same exact
With
thing.
a smile.
Probably not with a smile.
Oh, without the racism,
With
Jesse, and the xenophobia,
he's gonna
Jesse.
say, well, good morning, Tuesday. We're going to address coronavirus.
every time I see him, his mask gets bigger. It's like
Who's?
Either that or his
Biden's?
face
No,
is
Trump
shrinking.
said that to
Trump?
Biden.
Oh.
It's classic. He's like, he's going to the mask. It gets bigger every time.
But that's the beauty of it.
That's so funny.
I mean, as much I don't like him in certain ways, but
No, I
from a
find-
comedy standpoint,
Oh no,
I love him.
100%. Funniest
Dude, the
president-
guy's comical.
Funniest
I
president ever.
absolutely love him in the
Funniest
sense of
president.
he
Funniest
said
president. He goes-
every time I see him,
he
his
goes-
mask gets bigger. Like
That's fucking
no president's ever
hilarious.
saying that. It's great.
My favorite
but I don't
line-
think he
Listen,
should be leading.
my favorite
There's
people.
not a
Trump line-
president in history.
He's funniest
that's
president
ever
of all
said. First best president in history to ever say that mask is getting bigger.
Yeah. No, I like when he goes. I like it when he goes. I didn't say that. You said that. And that's like that's Donald Trump's favorite line. I didn't say that. You
Oh, he always looks to the side and calls someone out. John, was that you?
Yeah.
Jim? No.
Jim?
Bob? No, it wasn't
Like,
you.
I
You
didn't say
did
that.
say that, but
I didn't say
you
that.
sure it wasn't you?
Oh my
He's the
God.
first president to do that too. So, but no, like, listen, I hate a lot of the dumb shit he does, but from a comical standpoint, it's.
Can I just say-
Kanye made Jesus walks, people.
Can we just say it's an election
Jesus
episode
walks.
here?
If you want to vote for
talked
the guy who
about
made
Kanye.
Jesus walks.
We've talked about Trump. We've talked about Biden.
Don't do it. Joe Jorgensen is not.
on.
Listen, vote for Kanye. Listen.
No.
When you first told me Kanye, and I was laughing, and you're like, "Come on!" And we were texting back and forth. I'm like, "This guy's crazy." I will vote for Kanye, but for none of the reasons that you're talking about. I don't want the guy to win. I will vote for Kanye just to vote to buck the system.
Yes.
I want.
Well, that's why I say vote for Joe Jorgensen because
I want your daughter's
the
grandkids-
libertarians are good. She's close, and if enough people just write her in on the ballot, like if you're undecided. Out there, anyone, if you're undecided,
Kanye.
I implore you to go Joe Jorgensen so that we can have a third podium in 4 years. She needs 15%. She's going to be close. If we can get the libertarians at 15%.
The problem with libertarians
They're in the debates.
is I think they're Republican light. That's the problem with libertarians.
They're not. Joe Jorgensen is a Democrat light. Like this, me and Melissa were arguing about it the other
She's
night. I go,
Republican
listen.
light.
I go, Mama Joe is starting to lose me because she's real lefty on a lot of things here that I'm just not that cool with. She has me on a lot of other shit.
She only
You know?
has she has
I said lefty.
she has my firm support with demolishing.
You still say lefty and libs.
demolish. I know he says that. Demolishing the IRS.
I know. I hate
Bro,
all the names.
The leftists are literally like their own political
I
party.
know. Leftists.
Leftists,
That's a
lefties.
little- yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Ah,
it's-
come on.
What do you want me to say? Leftists?
The
Yes.
far right leadership is quiet, but the far right
Just because you don't want to.
the far right leadership is quiet, but the far right antagonists are loud.
Nah, I don't know
the
about that.
leftist leadership
Let me ask
is
you this:
loud.
What
but
is
people
the
underneath
far
them-
right? The KKK? right? Skinhead Nazis, right?
Would that
That's what would be
far-
considered.
far right?
I don't even think that's a political party. Like,
Let me
that's-
ask you something.
White supremacists is
When was the last
more-
time you saw something like that?
Skinheads aren't skinheads anymore. We went through this.
Yeah, we went through
It
this.
could be blondes.
Oh.
When's the last time I saw a white
could be-
supremacist, you mean?
Yeah. Like racial unrest.
The
from-
president.
You know what I'm saying? Like
piece of
violence.
shit.
You said it, not me.
I'm not trying to make a point. I'm literally just asking a question because I want to know. Like,
I mean, I live
when
in
was
New-
the last time that there was some like
I live in New York.
extreme right violence?
Charlestown? No. Was there any in Charlottesville?
I don't know, but I feel like
Was there violence?
I don't know. There was a bunch of dude with a fucking
that one lady
with
got ran
fires.
over, but that's also been debatable as to who was driving the car, right?
stop it. She was killed.
Yeah, well,
I don't know
he
enough
wasn't trying
about the
just to kill
situation.
her. He was trying to kill a bunch of people.
I know, but
You can't say
No,
that
I don't
she
think-
was.
I don't believe that it was someone trying to kill anyone. It's just okay. There's another question then. If there's a group of people in front of you, okay, here we go. We'll flip it.
I would not run people over, Jesse.
Gene, you're a black man driving a car. A group of fucking angry white people with tiki torches and American flags surround your car. What are you doing?
You're driving away.
Yeah, I'm
You're driving through them, yes?
I would drive through
Okay.
them, and I'm white.
Yeah,
I don't give a
I'm just
shit.
saying, right? You're driving through them. You're saving your own life.
While playing Kanye West.
Word.
While playing Kanye West Jesus Walks.
Jesus walks.
Right.
Yo, FYI though, that Kanye like Christian album is fire.
I heard some of the beats, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, I heard some of
Yeah.
the beats.
It's fire.
It's still Kanye. It doesn't. You know what I mean? Like it's
Can we-
still the man who made six
Since we're
beats.
talking Kanye here, can I just switch from politics
Go
for
ahead.
just a hot second?
Joyner Lucas.
Joyner
album.
Lucas.
I knew it. See, I know my
Did
boy.
you listen to it
Yeah, I
yet?
did. I like it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
it's good.
I love the
Yeah.
Snitch record.
Yeah.
Because
You've been saying this for years.
Exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
someone's gonna finally have the balls to do it. And I'm waiting to see what the
Well,
feedback is.
I don't know if you noticed, he wasn't pro snitch because at the end,
At the end, the guy snitched. Listen to the song again. At the end, the guy drops two names.
yes, he does.
Which
but
is worse. No matter how you say pro
if you
snitcher,
watch the video,
it doesn't matter. In the
if you watch the
song,
video, he depicts it in a different light where then the dude sits back and he lights up a cigarette and it's basically like he's telling the cops to go fuck yourself. Like he didn't snitch. So I don't know. I watching the video, it threw
yeah.
me. I was like, oh.
I think just by making a song, he is. I don't think he's pro snitch. I think what he's done is he said what I've always said, which
It's a conflict song.
Not
It's-
just-
it's like
yeah, it's
it's
a
like
conflict
Eminem's "Guilty Conscious" is what it was.
Yeah, but I also think what he's basically saying is
Yeah.
He even says it. He in like one of the opening lines. It's like I'm your conscious, and like even in the video, it depicts two different people. One telling him to snitch, one telling him not to.
No, I
You know,
think
that's
that-
what the whole song is.
No, I get it. No, listen, I listened to the song a bunch of times, and I think that just by having the song, he is admitting that there may be a time where it makes sense.
Validity to snitching, sure.
Yeah, he's not saying do it. He's just saying there's an argument
Right.
for it.
I didn't
Right,
go
right,
deep
right.
into the album. I just listened to it.
And
But
then-
you know me, I listen to it like from a production standpoint, so I always listen to just the
And then he
music,
has
and
a-
the beat, and it was amazing.
He has a song with.
I'm
these
saying
names.
I can't get into
I'm
this
shocked you liked it.
conversation.
I felt like no,
Dude, Joyner's in my top 5.
No, I know you love Joyner, but I think that,
Joyner's top 5. You know who else is in my top 5 now? And I'm not
NF.
not afraid. Yeah, 100%.
See, I know my boy.
NF should be in everyone's top 10. And if he's not, it's because you're not listening to him. The
Basically.
dude is fucking insane. Like,
I
insane.
listen
He
to
doesn't
more-
curse either,
I
which is
listen to more
crazy.
of it. And by the way, Joyner's album is definitely influenced by what the hell's going on lately because there was a very pro-black undertone that I gathered from
Sure.
the album, and I'm like,
Sure.
this is interesting. But that's also,
I like that he was able to put it together so quickly.
yeah, and I think,
you know?
and I think he's comfortable. He's comfortable now.
Yeah.
that because whenever artists are comfortable, you get more of that raw honesty.
I'll be honest,
he's
to
making
critique
money.
it-
Yeah.
he's making money.
He's not
now.
worried about losing
Oh,
fans.
yeah.
His fan
Yep.
base is solidified,
Yep.
and he's gonna say because like the song with
There are
Game, I was
goats that are putting him in the goat conversation. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
we've been said that. The moment I heard him the first time, I'm like, damn, how long has this guy been around? They're like forever. I'm like, this guy's awesome.
yeah, no, Joyner's the man. Critique of the album,
The same
I
flow.
would say,
You
is
always say
well,
that.
yeah, not only the same
he
flow.
rap
I've
fast.
come
He
to.
rap fast in one song. I was
He
like-
does rap
I was
fast.
like-
He has a great.
Yeah, I was like, that's
he
what
has
Jesse.
a great.
Yeah, he did a speed one. I'm like, it's what
Yes,
Jesse-
I did hear that one, and that was the one part where I was like, "Oh, Jesse's will probably be happy
Yeah,
about
I'm like,
this
it's for Jesse.
because it's like."
He must have heard this guy.
But you know what? Like I don't listen to enough of him to catch that same flow. Like there's some artists where you don't have to listen to a lot. Like if you listen to DaBaby, like all right, didn't I just hear this song? No,
And this is
it's
how
a
you
different
know he's
song.
super comfortable.
Right.
But
Well,
Is that-
Joyner Lucas, I haven't listened to enough of to go. Oh, that's the same flow.
well,
as that
even just
song.
listening to music in itself, like a big critique
But
that
it
I'll have.
happens.
You'll catch this
Every
one.
artist
I bet.
it happens to.
You'll catch this one. So one of my favorite songs on there, and I now it clicked at the end of the, or maybe like mid of the second time I listened to the album, with Rick Ross. That
Yes.
I'm Legend,
I'm
whatever
Legend,
song.
yeah.
But like as I'm listening to it, I'm like, man, this is fucking dope. This beat is sick. The melody on this hook is like, man. And I kept saying to Melissa, like, I've heard this song before.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to have heard the song before. I go, wow, well done. And then it hit me.
Yep.
It's that Meek Mill song that he has Rick Ross on, Ambition. They love me for my ambition.
Yep.
It's the same melody, and it's like, you got the same feature. You know what I mean?
And
It's
guess what?
like,
No, that's not the only song on that album. There's another song.
You sure it wasn't
I
done on
heard-
purpose?
but then
I
it
think so.
started
No,
making me think, was it done on purpose?
I think so because there's another song on the album. I heard it. I'm like, I know this fucking beat. I know this whole flow.
Which one?
I'd have to go through the whole list, but I think that he pays random homage to people
Yeah.
through doing that because there's another song. I'm
Because
like,
you got to remember, he started as like a mixtape rapper.
yeah, and remember
You know?
remember what I told you the other time. What did I tell you? It reminded me a little of Nipsey meets
Yes,
Kanye. Like
You said Nipsey, Kanye, and
And
I
a
forgot who the
sprinkle of
last
Common.
person. Oh,
And a
Common.
sprinkle of
Yes,
Common,
Common.
yeah, yeah.
because, and I think so.
Yeah.
I think that was for Meek Mill. I think that he wanted to really, just like there was a Jay-Z one. The last album where he speeds up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That there's a Jay-Z song that goes just like that, and then where it just keeps switching up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I see what he's doing. He's playing a little.
I watched a
homage.
couple reviews, you know, and like reactions like to the album and stuff. And actually, this one dude that I was watching, Crypt, he's like a YouTube rapper. I fucking hate him. I don't mean like that. No, like I
I
just
get it.
mean like as an artist, like I'm just not a big.
You're not a fan.
Yeah, he's just on that southern fast rap. I'm just over it. It's like versatile. Be a little
Yeah.
versatile. Whatever.
Just like
but he
bars.
was doing what I did like that this dude did on his YouTube channel was he did a live stream of the whole album. Right? So he listened to the whole album as people were viewing in. I think it got up over like 1,000 views like that were logged in watching it. People giving donations, and then all of a sudden, boom, Joyner Lucas throws him $100. And he goes, is that the real Joyner? He goes, Joyner, is that really you? Like,
That's awesome.
you know, and that's awesome. And then like as he's like bigging him up, saying like I'm such a huge fan, like the album is great. Boom, he throws him another $100 donation, and I go, yo, that's got to be him. Who's got $200 just floating around,
A lot of people
pretending
do.
to be Joyner Lucas on
lot of people
YouTube? But I'm saying it probably was him because
maybe.
it was the night that the album was released. He had over 1,000 people viewing at the time. That's good traction. But I'm like, yo, that's so dope. You know, that Joyner is that type of a guy.
No,
I
you know,
wouldn't
like,
put it past
like,
him.
you know what I
Let
mean?
me tell you something. This album
Makes me like him as an artist more,
Listen,
knowing that he's
this
like
album
that type of dude. He's a family man. You know,
listen to enough albums. This album was definitely the arrival. There's a line he says, I call Rihanna, but it's not like that. I'm like, I get it, dude. You made it. Like, when you can call Rihanna.
yeah, he's saying like no, like Rihanna hit me up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like that.
yeah,
That's a queen.
Yeah.
you know.
But
Like,
my point is,
I respect her. We
what-
talk. We're
that
friends.
is the equivalent of when rappers say, I'm in a different circle
Yeah.
than you.
Yeah.
But he did it in a more clever way.
In a poetic
way, like
poppy, poetic
yeah,
way.
exactly.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
does you gotta listen to the album because there's a lot of little
I
subliminals.
did.
like
I just
that.
haven't listened to lyrically.
Yeah, you have
I
to.
did. I'm just
Favorite
being
song?
honest. I have not listened to it
Evolution is
lyrically
good
at
too.
all.
I like that song.
That song's great. My favorite song though is Straight Like That. Like
yes,
the whole idea.
that's the song I'm talking about. Straight
Yeah.
Like That is,
Yep.
is somebody else's. Straight Like That.
Really?
No, it's not. It's his song. But
You're saying the style that he
yeah,
was doing.
because it reminded me of.
Because he
Whoa.
did the same thing
It
on
reminded
that.
You remember Whoa?
Black woman cry, black woman die,
Yes.
like that black song.
That part-
He did the same. Like every sentence started, and then every sentence ended in that song with Straight Like That.
Straight
right?
Like That.
So it's the opposite.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
but it was dope. Like it's dope. It was a dope song.
Black Rob had.
fan.
Black Rob had. A song.
Whoa.
He had Whoa, and it was like that. It was like
Yeah.
I had this bad bitch.
Mike
it was
Flows,
Whoa.
nights closed, nitros,
Like Whoa,
Yeah.
and then he's like that. But after Whoa, there was another.
Nah, come on. I see what you're doing.
No,
Oh,
but-
you're saying Black Rob did another one.
No, Black Rob had a second song like Whoa to try to
Capitalize.
Bring that back.
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
didn't work. But that's the song that that
gotcha.
reminds me. I just can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
But it's another one because he tried to just recreate the same moment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Like That is the same thing. It's like listen and boom, listen and boom.
Yeah.
But it was a great record. Still a great record.
Yeah, no, I thought I was impressed. I'd be,
Joyner Lucas is.
I can't wait for his next one, and I hope he really goes in on that one. I do like
Actually-
that he does add skits. I felt like half of this album was skits, and
I don't think he needs an
Horrible
album.
acting on those skits.
horrible acting.
Oh, it was terrible. The teacher one.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you listen
No,
to
but
his
the
last
teacher is
album,
based on the ADHD.
No,
kids.
listen.
Yes.
I know what was happening there.
Yeah.
I'm just talking. The acting was terrible. The acting.
I think it was supposed to be though.
I don't know
Because
about
again,
that.
if you listen to ADHD album,
ADHD
the
was great.
doctor and kids
Yeah.
interaction
I
was
didn't
very
listen to
similar.
skits on
Yes.
it. Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
listen to
yeah,
skits.
yeah.
But it was
I
good.
hate that.
No, it was good. He's like, if you
What's
stop
the
being such a little
problem?
fucking bitch.
I heard you said. I heard you said. No,
but- 'cause that's how it
He's
was.
just like,
that's
just try
exactly.
a little harder.
That's how it was. That's how it was on ADHD
Yeah, you
too.
gotta go
That's
back to
why I
ADHD
like that he
skits,
did
yeah.
that. He did that because it was so like B film. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
D.
You know, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a Sharknado bad.
That's it is. It's worse.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And I'm sure that a Shanti
any other
song will go far.
any other comments you want to make on
That'll go
the
commercial.
Yeah.
on anything?
What?
Any other comment before we go into Rushmore?
Busta Rhymes dropped a new album.
I did not hear it.
And T.I.
Fire.
T.I. Okay, so T.I. did not want to verse. Busta Rhymes asked T.I. to do one of these versus battle, and T.I. dissed him and didn't want to do it because he said that different errors, whatever, blah, blah. But now T.I. has to do a versus Young Jeezy, and I think T.I.'s going to get his ass ripped. Young Jeezy's a problem, my friend. What?
Not a fan.
The Snowman?
Not a fan.
Oh, my gosh, he is the...
I'm over that shit.
I've always been over it, but he is the streets
Nah.
man. He's gonna kill T.I.
Yeah.
But T.I. also went to do a double versus.
Okay, I could see what you're saying there. Young Jeezy definitely has a lot of
He's the streets.
hits.
That wasn't the one whose wife shot at him, was it? No, not
No.
Young Jeezy. No, who was that? It was one
But
of the
why
Jeezy-
they would pair T.I. with Young Jeezy?
Because
Like,
that- no, 'cause that's-
T.I. with Ludacris. You know
That's
what I mean?
said.
Like, yeah, like
Because
that would make
that's
sense.
what I said. No, you know, is because
That's like the Godfather of trap and the Godfather of Southern rap. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. They're basically fighting for the king of the South, basically.
exactly, yeah.
But I just think
that would make they're the same genre, the same
Young Jeezy, yeah.
generation.
Young
you know,
Jeezy got him. It's gonna be a nuts. But
although soccer moms like Luda way better.
I'm trying to think what else we want to talk about. Oh,
Of course.
Fast Five.
Well,
Bream Bream. Zim Zima.
T.I. had
That
some
song's
mainstream-
fire too.
T.I. had mainstream
That he
hits, though.
redid Zim Zima.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
Yeah.
T.I. had mainstream hits though,
Oh, of course he did.
so I think
Ti is the OG of
No.
trap. You know,
But then there's the
Young
whole
Jeezy-
Fast and Furious
Young
thing. Go on.
Jeezy has a lot
right.
of.
That's what I was saying.
Young Jeezy has hits that are so good. You gotta understand, Young Jeezy is one of the first guys to go platinum without radio. Like he's a street guy. Like he sold so much street music.
He's just not that
the
good
radio's
of a
just-
rapper.
No,
I don't think
he's
so.
not
I don't
a
know
if he is
rapper.
anymore.
He's a
Not.
trapster. He's a drug dealing
Yeah.
rapper. Like he is.
I'm just over it,
50
man.
Cent
If you're
on
not
steroids.
talented, I'm out.
No, it's like,
Like-
he's talented. He is. Listen, there's some songs that
If I look at your song credits and there's other people's name on there as writers, I'm out.
Yeah, but that could be writers of music.
yeah.
No, and it specifies that.
Listen,
I'm saying if you're
I'm a writer on your album, but not on your verses.
right,
I don't
but
touch
my
your
name
verses.
is right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm saying like there are artists out there that don't write anything. They have a team of writers
Isn't
that
that
write
how Drake
for them.
started?
You
Writing
leave-
people,
you leave
ghost
Drake
writing?
alone.
Yeah,
You leave Drake
no,
alone.
Drake doesn't have a team of writers.
No, I'm
Drake
saying
used to be the
he
team
used
of
to be
writers.
he used to be the guy
Oh, I was about to
they
say-
went
yeah.
to.
I'm about to say Drake.
Right for me.
Drake's top 10.
Drake was Lil
Solidified.
Wayne's
Yeah.
was ghostwriting for Lil
Yeah.
Wayne for a minute, which always upset me. That's when I started falling off of Lil Wayne because I used to love OG Lil Wayne.
No, but Lil Wayne also produced too much music. He had no choice. He OD'd. Like Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Bro, like, do you remember when Lil Wayne first came out? Like,
Yeah.
like a hot ball, like ball of blocking time. You know what I
The
mean?
problem
Like,
with Lil Wayne is he got to a point where he was on every feature, every music, every album. You remember those?
yeah, but that's when he blew up.
I know, but that's why you need writers. You can't keep making that much
No, I
material. I don't care how good you are. That's a lot of material because it all starts.
Even-
it all starts to
even
sound the same.
Legendary
If you-
bands started doing. Aerosmith started pulling in writers.
You have to because Jesse, if I told you just keep making songs,
20 years?
If I told you just keep making songs for a whole year, they would just start. They would start sounding exactly the same.
If you didn't.
It's just
If you
hard.
didn't work on that, sure.
That's also why I liked our band. That was the one big credit I gave to our band.
Boogie.
We had so many
We had
different
5
style-
writers.
We had a punk kid in there.
I
We had a
agree.
soul guy in there. We had a hip hop guy. I was a reggae rock guy. Like it all melted together, and the songs were very
remind
different
me-
on our album.
When the first
But
time
I don't
saw
know
him
if it
do
was
that,
too much.
so much soul on stage. That was a really good performance.
Oh, got a whole lot of soul.
Yeah, that was. I remember.
Burn, baby.
I remember the first time he did that. I was like,
But that's my point. We
Yeah.
went from like a Sublime style song to
Yeah.
Burning,
Yeah.
which is like, I guess you would put that. What kind of hip hop would that be like?
It's not
like,
even hip hop. I rap on it, which sure you can put it in
You
that
wouldn't put
category,
that
but
in,
that's
like-
like a blues. That's a soul blues
Nah,
song.
but there was hip hop. There was just
It's
no
a
hip hop
piano
beat on
part.
it. It was a live beat, but
I don't know. What would you put Billy Joel in?
classic rock.
Then there you go.
oh, by the way, I know we don't have.
Yeah, it's like
Classic rock
I
hip
know we don't
hop.
have Sick or Swim, but my friends from Brooklyn call me because Buju went on a big rant.
Yeah.
About mask and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, these dread guys are killing
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
These dread guys just don't want to wear masks.
All right,
Talk
do
to
this
him,
one.
Bucci.
Let's do
go.
this one. Let's do this one thing, and then we're gonna go to Rushmore.
Oh, and by the way, Pittsburgh Steelers are 8-0. I want to talk about
Yes,
this
they are.
because Mike Tomlin.
And their defense gave me 19 points. this
Mike
week.
Tomlin is a great coach, and this is one of those scenarios.
Mike
like,
Tomlin is a great coach.
Exactly, he is.
And he's very underrated.
He's
He doesn't-
improved
why?
it. Underrated. He's had that job for how long?
No,
Isn't
no,
that
I'm saying that he
underrated?
doesn't get the
He doesn't
attention.
He doesn't
He
get the
doesn't-
attention.
no one talks about what a
he's
great
never had
coach
a
he
losing
is.
season. He lost his quarterback last year.
Is that true? He's never had a
He's
losing
never had a
season?
losing season, and he lost his quarterback last year, and they still didn't have a losing season.
Wow.
And they were in playoff contention towards the end of the
that's right, they
season.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Forgot about
here's
that.
the thing. He lost
that's
he
right.
lost Bell and Antonio Brown, which proves to me that Antonio Brown definitely has issues, because we were talking about that earlier, because the team's 8-0 or 7-0, like you're
They also
obviously
got new great talent.
I know, but it just
Claypool and
but-
Juju are two great.
better than Antonio Brown? Exactly.
I mean,
No, but
hold on.
enough.
When Juju's rookie year, people were saying this kid could be better than Antonio Brown. And then by the
Could
end of
be.
his freshman year, his numbers were like real close to Juju.
But he also-
to Antonio.
He was also playing with Antonio Brown,
Exactly.
so there's that.
exactly
There's that.
though.
No,
Exactly
that's what
my
I'm saying.
ass.
He's a number
Who's-
two.
Who's
He's-
got a double team?
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then, no, but I want to bring
I'm
it
saying
up
they're
because
sharing targets, and
I
he's
just
still,
think,
you know.
Yeah, no,
but
no,
yeah,
I
I
agree.
see what you're
I
saying.
agree.
there.
I just think it's crazy because unlike the Jets, we spent a whole lifetime waiting for like the Patriots to fall apart, and
And they are, and we
never
fell
gonna
more
happen.
apart.
Exactly. And guess what? I
What are you
think,
talking about? They did this year, but we fell more apart. You see how that works,
I think,
Jesse?
I think Pittsburgh's going to take advantage
Yeah,
of it.
but
I see
the
Pittsburgh.
Patriots are still going to win that division.
No, they're
No,
not.
I mean, that
Bills.
The Bills.
Nah.
The Bills just beat them.
Josh Allen's the truth. I told you this.
Bills
I
beat him
think Josh
yesterday.
Allen's
I told
great.
you this
Oh
a
yeah,
million
no,
times.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's the
the
truth.
Bills do have.
And you know who's
a
going to
better
beat them
record now.
too?
Yeah.
The Dolphins.
They look good, right?
Yeah, bro. Their defense was on fire yesterday.
Tua suck. He's stuck up in the joint.
He's a come on.
Ryan
He's,
Fitzpatrick. Let the
I
man
know,
play.
I know.
Let the
That was
man
all
play.
stupid.
They did him dirty.
But going back to your Antonio Brown thing, when you were saying, also, what do you hate in fantasy the most? One of the things you hate drafting.
What?
Number one wide receivers.
Oh yeah, hate him. I never draft.
Goes
I'll
back.
never do
Why?
it again.
Why? Because they get the most attention.
Yep.
They get double teamed. They get all same shit. So now
Everyone
you
used to
get
say
that
this.
slot
you wouldn't
receiver.
draft the
What's
number
up?
one receiver for Green Bay.
I did it. Okay.
Not all of them, but
okay.
the
I'm like-
majority of them
There are certain
are terrible to have.
Depends on
players
quarterback.
that sure,
You got
like
Michael Thomas.
yes, and I haven't had him yet this year.
I mean, that was a fluke, but he would have had a good year.
Is it?
Maybe because Drew
Kenny
Brees
Galladay.
passes to
Drew Brees is
everybody.
dunking, yeah.
Kenny Galladay, I have also. That's Detroit's wide receiver one.
You got to be careful with wide receiver
No, I agree.
ones.
I've
I-
always
I-
said this.
I agree.
Devontae
Especially-
Adams is an anomaly.
I always want the
In,
slot
in
receiver.
fantasy
And
football,
Brown was.
if you're in a PPR,
You want the slot
you want your
receiver.
slot receivers.
Yeah, I agree.
You want your Chris Godwins.
Yeah, I agree.
You want your Julian Edelmans. You want those type
Not necessarily
players.
slot. It could be just the number two. If the number two's good,
I don't know, man.
No,
I,
Look at in
You want
Atlanta.
your slot
You want the
receiver.
check down.
Look at Atlanta.
You want the check down. That's what he's saying. You want
Yeah.
the check down.
Who's the number
Running
two in
backs?
Atlanta there? What's his name?
Julio
Ridley.
Jones. Julio
No,
Jones.
the number two.
Oh,
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley.
Ridley,
That was
yes.
my guy. I drafted
But
him when
Calvin
I was
Ridley
still in the
also
league.
plays out of the slot a lot.
Exactly.
But point being is he's the number two.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay. So when people say like the wide receiver 2, that's when they go into 2 wide receiver
sets, the second
formation.
In that case, I
those
still
are
want the
two
wide
there.
receiver too, unless it's man to man.
But I'm saying
then I want the wide
when they
receiver
line
one.
up in
You
like
don't want the guy from Seattle.
when they line up in trips
Metcalf?
or whatnot.
I wanted the Jets to draft Metcalf, and they
know, he's
fucked that
number
up
one.
too.
When they
He's number one.
align in trips formation, you want that. I want
You
that
want the
slot
third guy
receiver.
in.
Yes, agreed.
I want that
Agreed.
third guy
But-
because he's your check
Yeah.
down. He's most likely. That's easy PPR points.
Yes. And the year that Metcalf came out, the Jets were sitting there with the fucking pick in the like one of the high picks in the second round. He was just
Oh my
sitting
God.
there. And they
DK
went, nope.
Metcalf.
Yeah, that's what.
And now we're gonna get some other shit. I forgot who
I
they got.
remember
I'm so
Melissa
angry.
coming by, and she just happened to look over my shoulder, and she's like, "What are you looking at?" And I'm looking at a picture of DK Metcalf with no shirt,
with every single
Just-
muscle on his body.
right? And
he
I'm
had
just like,
3% body fat.
I go, this guy's. I was like, this guy's
That's
got
insane.
4% body fat right now.
Yeah,
Like,
insane.
he's going to be a monster in the NFL.
Well, that doesn't make him a monster. I mean, a lot of
I'm
guys
j-
are jacked. Like,
Do you know
like
who his
that.
dad is?
Metcalf Senior?
Eric Metcalf.
Who's that?
What?
Oh wait, why do I know that name?
Bodybuilder.
Because he was a superstar punt returner and a wide receiver.
Oh shit! And
Nope.
really, that's his father?
Yeah.
For what team?
I'm gonna look it up.
Right.
No, I remember the name Metcalf.
Nah, I
Eric,
don't.
for sure.
I was like, he was a bodybuilder.
No, you don't know
what I'm
Eric
saying?
Metcalf?
It would make
He's
sense.
a cross training guy.
No, he's fucking a beast.
It's crazy now that you start seeing these people's kids in the fucking league. You're like, really?
Tell me you're not pushing for Frank Gore
He
and
was
his
a wide
son
receiver.
to both be in the
He was a-
NFL at the same time. Bro, we're a year away. Oh, 2 years away. If Frank Gore can stay in the NFL for 2 years, he and his son will both be in the league at the same
At this
time.
point, why couldn't he?
Speaking of,
and he's the
boom,
son of
here's
Terry
an update.
Metcalf.
Kenny
That's great.
Galladay, doubtful. Bum. Wide receiver
Gino,
one.
Gino.
But either way,
Jesse,
Either way,
Higgins.
they're gonna give my boy
I'll
Mike
take a
Thomas
T.
some
Higgins
credit.
all
Great
day.
coach.
I
Great
agree.
coach. And I
agree.
hope he meets Kansas City in the AFC Championship, and whatever happens, happens. Because you know Seattle's going to the NFC Championship, most likely.
Yeah,
Seattle Saints, maybe.
that's happening. Saints are just so.
Packers won't make it.
Did you see Drew Brees throwing?
Even though I would-
Yesterday?
the,
Packers.
the Titans Baltimore rematch.
Packers are better.
Packers are looking
the
good.
Titans Baltimore. No, they don't. The Packers. They're gonna get blown out when it matters.
Who
There's-
who can compete with them right now?
Seattle will blow them
point-wise? No, Seattle's defense is terrible.
That's true. But
Yeah, but
Aaron-
Seattle's offense is great.
Aaron Rodgers will put up 42 points on them. I mean,
Tampa
granted,
Bay, my bad, Tampa Bay.
Russell Wilson will do the same thing,
No,
but that's
Tampa
what I
Bay.
mean.
Guys,
It'll be a complete
guys,
shootout.
Tampa Bay. I almost forgot. Tampa
about
Bay. That's what you're gonna have. You're gonna have Seattle versus Tampa Bay, NFC, and
No.
What do you mean?
No,
no?
Tampa Bay's not making it.
If that defense holds up,
Tom Brady?
Yes, they are.
What are you talking about? You
think so?
They may be the
If
best.
the way
team in-
their defense
They may
keeps
be the
playing
best
that
team in
way, this
football.
way.
I don't know.
That's Todd Bowles.
Not to mention Brady. Not to mention
You're
Brady.
going to count out
got
Andy
18
Reid?
touchdowns.
Like,
No, I said Kansas City.
Yeah, yeah,
you
Tom
don't think
Brady's-
Andy Reid's not going to figure this out?
you know,
No.
Tom Brady in his 40s has the second most touchdowns.
know.
I'm just throwing that out.
No. You're saying after yesterday,
He's
Tom
not
Brady
playing- No, right now he's got 18 touchdown passes.
for the season.
18.
Holy shit. No, I didn't think that Tampa Bay
And
was
who's number
scoring
one?
like that.
Who's number one?
Wow.
Dangerous. It's probably dangerous.
Russell Wilson?
I think so.
No, with the
No.
most touchdown
Definitely,
thrown?
it's got to
No.
be. It's got
gotta be Mahomes.
Right now, it's got to be Mahomes.
It's gotta be
Bro,
Mahomes.
he had like 3-4
I believe
touchdown
you.
games already.
Yesterday.
And he had a 4 touchdown game yesterday.
Yeah.
He had a 5 touchdown game. Bro,
Yeah, it's
he's
gotta be Mahomes.
It's got to be Mahomes.
It can't be anyone else.
And if Mahomes doesn't break the record anytime soon, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, he will. He has Andy Reid.
Without Andy Reid, I'm just saying in general, the guy.
My
just
mother
throws
texted me
touchdowns.
yesterday and she goes, "This kid Mahomes is just fantastic." And I'm like, yeah. My mom's a diehard Jet fan. She watches every game every week.
I don't know how.
She
Bro.
does it. She puts herself through it.
I told you, Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
Is what?
How many has he got?
22. Tom Brady, 18. I tell you, dangerous. You guys don't.
All right, we didn't say
How many
he
does
didn't.
Mahomes have?
Russell should be 3.
17?
I don't even see it because
No, Russell Wilson is number 1.
Oh wait, Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson has 22.
Wait a minute.
That's crazy.
Hold the fuck. Where the hell's Mahomes? He had like 3 games where he was just
not
awesome
even on the list?
touchdowns. Not top 5.
Are you in 2020? Are you in 2020 or is that 2018?
No, because it said Tom.
it's
Tom Brady.
2020, you bum. Patrick Mahomes, 21.
Oh, he's number 2. How come he wasn't on that?
Yeah,
fucking
so
list?
it's Russell Wilson 26, 21 Mahomes, Rodgers 20, Brady 18.
Oh, well, Brady didn't play this
Ryan
week.
Tannehill,
This
what?
week he was
playing
Ryan
tonight.
Tannehill, I told you,
Oh,
17.
no, they have a
Game
oh, they're
tonight. They're playing your boys.
Yeah.
Josh Allen 16, and somehow
gonna be a fun
Baker
game.
Mayfield, Ben Roethlisberger tied.
A lot of touchdowns getting thrown this year, right? It's a
'Cause there's no
quarterback year,
defense.
baby.
You can't play D no more. Can't touch him.
Oh, you know,
Can't touch anyone.
You know what? This is a good thing. They said, and this is a big conversation. I heard it on the Pat McAfee show. They're saying that the defense isn't the same because there's no crowd to get them hyped up.
And
I could feel
And these are professionals players saying,
I could feel that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it's changing defense. And those numbers
I could feel
just
that.
backed it up for me.
Sure.
But so how come the offense is so motivated?
Because
They're
think
just
about it.
throwing the fucking ball. The defense is like,
You know why? Because think about it. Think about how much. Like, what was one of the hardest things to do going into Seattle?
Yeah, the 13th man.
You know what
Green
I'm
Bay
saying?
had Green
You
Bay's
have
probably
that
got
all over the place.
Fucking, God knows how many false starts on the other team, bro. They have Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers is
Rodgers,
on that show every week, every Tuesday, and they have like 30 different snap counts. 30.
By the way, you heard about
That's ridiculous.
very wild
crazy.
tangent. You heard about the Trump rally in Omaha where they all got busted in, but then they got stuck in the cold. 'Cause
No.
there was. I guess they forgot to get the Bucks back, and then obviously Trump went on his jet and left.
Oh, that's
And-
hilarious.
And the whole time,
See,
yeah, I know
that's
it's
also
fucking-
funny.
I know it's
just
hilarious, but
funny.
the whole time, all I can
Sucks.
hear my voice is Eli Manning. Omaha, Omaha. Like,
That's wrong, Manning.
oh, that's
What?
who's
Wrong Manning.
No.
Yes.
No.
No, it's
Peyton
Eli.
Manning.
No.
Omaha. Yes.
Eli Manning.
That's Eli.
Eli.
Peyton.
Okay.
I gotta look this up.
Go for it.
I watched every Giants game.
That's what I'm saying.
So then it's a Manning thing because Peyton did it in Denver.
Really?
I never heard. You say Omaha?
Yeah.
Eli Manning is the first person that pops into
Nah,
my
man,
head.
Peyton Manning for me.
Because that was always that's his audible. When he Omahas, that means that he sees something in the DBs or in the linebackers, and he's audibling a play.
Actually, no. It says Peyton Manning. Retired Peyton Manning finally explained the true meaning of his Omaha call.
Wow, so Eli does it too.
Eli stole it.
I mean, I guess JP's right. All right.
anything.
Did Archie do it too?
It's possible. And
Find
Cooper's
out
and
if
Cooper,
Archie
you know,
did.
Cooper's kid is gonna do it. Next Archie Manning's gonna do
Oh my
it.
god,
That's crazy. I guess I never watched enough Colts games.
That kid's in high school.
To,
and
like,
he's
pick that
he used to
up.
yell Omaha too, but I feel
I know that, you always heard Peyton say it
Yeah.
too, but I mean, again, I watched every Giants game my whole life, so
Weird. You're weird.
I guess, bro, there was a good
I know.
11-year stretch
Well,
of my life that I
yeah, the
didn't
years
miss a
they were-
Giants opening day at home. I went every opening home game.
wow.
Oh, really?
I had Jets.
Until it started becoming like $8,000 to go
Yep.
see them lose, and you're like,
Yep.
nah.
And then you weren't allowed to bring signs into the stadium, and then,
New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey, New York.
Yeah,
Same shit.
I don't know if I could even
Cory
go back
Booker.
to. Like I want to go to game. Hey,
Chris Christie.
Christie sucks. Booker.
You want to do sink or swim? No, not sink or swim. No,
Rushmore rankings? Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Rushmore rankings today is top political. What's the word I'm looking for?
Conspiracy.
Scandals.
Scandals or conspiracy?
Scandals.
Oh, scandal.
What do you want? Conspiracies or scandals?
no, I mean,
Pick one.
whatever.
Either way, it's for the presidency.
Are there enough to even? I think there's only 4.
We only need 4.
Can I just say this too? Because I heard a great one that I thought, just to bring it back to the whole social media fake news thing.
Go on.
I think it was like the We Are Libertarians page put this out. It was like, if the internet was around forever, it would have been like Paul Revere coming through saying, the English are coming,
Yeah.
the English are coming. And then Twitter flagging that for fake news. Because not all of England is coming. And it was an example of how they
Yeah.
censor and do shit like that. I don't know why that just
That's
popped
pretty
back
funny.
into my head.
No,
But it's
that's-
like
that's pretty funny,
fake
actually.
news, not
right.
all of England, it's just the army.
Top political scandals. I would
Scandals?
say. I think scandals is good because there's a lot. And
I mean, there's
we
not
can
that
kind of
many
keep it.
though. Like
we
what?
can
Like
keep
we're
it
talking scandals,
instantly.
right? Like so, like
Watergate.
Watergate.
It's got to be up there.
Watergate's
Fucking
one. Really, we're gonna put a blowjob up there? Are you gonna put fucking?
yeah. I was gonna say fucking
Bill
Bill
Clinton?
Jeffs.
It's got to be. It's
gotta
it's
be,
the
right?
best one if you ask me. That's number 1 for me.
All right, I
Is
guess
it?
Yeah, is it really?
I'm not
is
against
Benghazi going up there?
it. Scandal's not a bad thing. It should.
No,
Benghazi should.
The problem with Benghazi
Because it hasn't been proven yet?
it's not that it hasn't been proven. Benghazi is more looked upon as a failure of Hillary as Secretary of State more than a failure of Obama as a presidency.
Well, yeah, that's 100%.
It's a political.
It's still
I know,
a
but it
It doesn't
political
have to be
scandal.
presidency,
Oh,
but
You see what I'm saying? Like
it could be.
Oh, does it have to be presidential scandals then?
That's what I'm saying. Oh, political scandal, you mean?
I could do political.
Yeah, because he made it sound presidential.
Wait, no, he said political. That's why I was like, Benghazi's got to be in
no,
there.
you're right. No,
I just Watergate is the
yeah,
scandal
you know,
of
like the
scandals.
first two were presidents.
Right.
Yeah, you, can put
You know
that.
what I mean? Like
yeah.
those
You know
two.
what? I mean, not to disrespect Benghazi, but how many soldiers was it?
7?
Yeah, it's like that's a tough one. Like because I'm sure we've
it
killed
was
a
way more
lot
people
more
that died.
soldiers in bad.
Are you
I'm-
sure?
I'm saying the
I'm
ones
sure
that were
there's a-
left behind, that were
Yeah,
left there.
They were left them.
Oh.
because I feel like
let's look it up.
it was like because it was a special team. It was a special.
I just for some reason I
Because
thought
I
it was
feel
more
like there's
people
been
who died.
situations where we've left soldiers behind, and I think there were more. I just don't know the specifics. Benghazi.
I mean, if you want to go into military shit too, though,
No,
like,
no.
is it political or is it a military thing too? But it's political as well, because then
That's-
there's like false flag situations that have happened that are known
Because
about.
I think the weapons of mass destruction, like that one, that one.
but that's political. It became political.
That's pretty funny. Like literally, we went there and it wasn't there. Like, really, bro? We just bombed the whole country. There's no. That's like a drug bust gone like ridiculous. Where the FBI.
Oh, you mean like Breonna Taylor?
It's yeah. That,
A drug bust that went wrong in the wrong way? In the
that's-
worst way?
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's equivalent, except like, oh my gosh, there were no weapons. Like, dude.
Oh God, there was no marijuana.
Yeah, like you could have made any
Or whatever they
lie,
thought she was
but
selling.
He went with that line. That's what I said. I thought it was like 4 or 5.
It took you that long to look it up, huh, bro?
Well, I was double checking because I'm pretty sure it was 7.
No, I thought it was 4 or 5.
Double check Jesse, baby.
Yeah.
See,
That's why
kids.
it's a big
Learn.
story
Yeah.
because of just we could have did better. But
It's simply because they were left.
yes.
They
All right,
were
but so is
blacked
that
out.
But
Left.
Okay.
I feel like we've done worse. We don't.
Oh, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but I'm sure that we've done worse that we don't know about.
Would
would you?
saying.
But would you put Epstein Island under political scandal?
Based on what?
Because politicians being there?
Nah,
No.
no.
That's
I
just-
mean,
You know what it is? That it's ongoing. When it really
it had nothing to do with politics.
When it
Okay, that's what I was asking. You know,
I wouldn't.
and it is ongoing. You're absolutely right.
No, because when the dominoes finally fall and we know who was really there and who did what. I mean, Bill Clinton in a fucking dress is fucking.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
It's a painting, but still
Give a
hilarious.
shit what it is. Like it's a fucking crisis. Like
No, I hear you.
It's
I
a
hear
fucking
you.
national crisis.
Yeah, that's because
Is it?
I'm saying the amount of people they killed.
It goes
I would
back
kill
to that
someone. I'd find
that
out
ritual thing that.
Oh, I
that
thought you were talking about
that Jones
Bill
was talking
Jeff
about.
in the Oval Office. Isn't that what you just
Bill
said?
Jeff.
Bill Jeff Clinton,
Oh, I'm out.
right? Isn't it William Jeffrey Clinton?
I don't know.
Bill Jeff.
I just know you got a blowjob in the
Yeah.
Oval Office, and honestly, to me, that's the number one scandal / awesomeness.
If she
Two
was
up there?
good looking.
I mean,
wasn't that bad
maybe
looking.
the scandal is all of the lives that Hillary Clinton destroyed thereafter. Did you ever think of that? Is the scandal really the blowjob in the Oval Office?
I mean,
Yes,
Is it?
what you
that's
do?
the scandal.
Is it?
That was the story.
But is it?
Yeah.
But maybe.
Don't get me on the conspiracy theory shit right now.
No, that's not conspiracy. Hillary Clinton literally destroyed
I
people's
know
lives.
that, but you're not going to connect the two and
Actually,
be like, oh, that's why you can't put
that's
that
what-
on there
that's
because
what I'm
of
saying.
what Hillary did
You
afterwards.
No, I'm saying which one is the real scandal there?
Bill
The
Clinton
actual
getting a blowjob.
fellatio?
Yes.
Okay.
This is why we should have also done conspiracies.
All right.
We gotta do both. Now, might as well. What
You want to do a conspiracy /
I mean, conspiracy is a completely different story. My list is already
yeah,
full.
that's a fucking 8-hour
Because one
long.
day I want to talk about this one that I get thrown at all the time.
No, not even. I mean, like, because Pizzagate gets put up on there without a doubt,
Bro, people tell
right?
me
Like, that's a huge conspiracy
Absolutely.
that's been
that was
fucking-
political, right?
I've
that
been,
was political.
I've been told
People
that.
died because of this.
I know, I'm just saying.
I've been told that.
Gene just said it before. There
Yeah.
was a man arrested because he brought
I know
a gun.
he tried to kill people. He thought he
He
was,
was like,
he thought he was doing something good.
Bitches, pepperoni.
Hillary's got children in the basement of this pizza place.
Show
Let me in
He
here.
thought he was doing something good.
You know
he
what's
was
the worst
doing-
part?
yeah.
The
That's
worst
where it
part
gets
about
fucked up.
that story is that building had no basement. If it at least had a basement.
Right.
The building had
Right.
no basement, bro. The building had no basement. I hope, like, pepperoni to go, please. Like, the building had no basement. By the way, so, like, Obama.
Yeah,
This Rushmore Rankings not working, people.
Yeah, I was told that Obama. No,
But I'm
'cause
okay with it.
I was told that Obama.
I don't think we know. I don't think we
Was
have
raised-
4 political
Oba-
scandals.
Obama was raised by George by
That's
the
what I was
Bushes.
saying.
Did you ever hear this one?
Is that what?
Obama was raised by the Bushes. I'm
No,
telling-
I never heard that one.
Yeah, and he was purposely groomed for the.
I've heard that,
one.
but not by the Bushes.
Oh yeah, go dig deep on that one.
I've heard that.
Go
I've
down
heard
the
that
rabbit hole.
Michelle Obama and President Obama were an arranged marriage.
Yes, I heard that one.
Yes.
And that not Jesse Jackson, who's Reverend, not Sharpton. He had a part in it, but Sharpton and one of the other like head League of what's the
Nation
black
of Islam?
Nation of Islam. Thank
There we
you.
go.
Nation of Islam
Farrakhan?
leaders. Not Farrakhan
Oh,
either,
I'm
but
like, no
Farrakhan
way.
was a part of it. But he wasn't the guy. He was another one. But whatever. They're the ones who raised Michelle Obama, and they bred her to be the first black lady, and paired her and Barry up together.
I'm telling you.
I heard that
I
one.
love that.
Look it up.
I mean, that one's actually pretty close to being real because, like,
don't know. Look it
their
up. They say
back
the Bush-
history, all of that aligns. Like, Michelle Obama was around all of those guys at a very young age, apparently.
Sure,
so,
you could make that.
you know.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't
You
really.
can always
If
make
you
the-
if
Here's
you
the
live
thing.
next door to Manson, does that mean you had the same thoughts as Manson because you were right by him?
No, what are you talking
That's my
about?
point. It's,
I'm
you
saying,
can
if,
connect
I'm
it.
saying if Jesse Jackson is walking a teenage girl, you know, into these elite parties and stuff, and grooming her to be a politician, yeah, that's actually very possible to happen. You know, I'm just saying.
I know.
I don't. All right, here, I don't care enough to ever have explored that conspiracy theory any
Yeah.
further because I could care less. Cool.
The whole
You guys
know where
arranged
they
a
lose
marriage,
me?
and
Yeah, that's where
they're
they
like
lose
the
me.
best political couple that we've ever had.
That's where
Awesome.
that's where you lose me.
You know?
Is the arranged marriage?
Why?
part.
That happens all the time.
I know. I get.
What do you mean?
You lose me on it.
And
I don't have to lose you. That's an actual thing that happens. People
In
get,
America?
Yeah.
and if you do vote for
Never heard of
Kanye, Kim Kardashian becomes the first lady.
Said in
and
India.
then Kris Jenner is then running the country, and she's proven that she can fix any fucking scandal and make money out of it. So if she can take a Ray J tape and build a fucking $billion empire, I love it. this fucking economy is as safe as it's ever fucking been. Kris Jenner 2020, Kanye, this is
2024.
Yeah, put them all. Just throw the whole family in there. Fuck it.
I'm just gonna have a video of Mount Rushmore exploding.
Okay, you want us to focus?
No, I don't. I don't even want to do the Rushmore ranking anymore. I honestly don't.
Why?
Not because I'm being a dick. Because I just Jesse's right. I'm kind of.
No, you got
I don't know if there's enough.
That's
Yeah,
just
there are.
Okay, we got
There are.
Watergate.
You
There
got-
are. There
listen,
definitely are. We just probably
we don't
it's
know
not
them.
that big. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm sure
sure
there was shit back in the day that we have no
Go
clue about.
George. I'm sure had some.
Hello. Lincoln
I mean,
was
all
shot
right,
in the
let's
head.
talk. You really want to go down there?
It's not a scandal. He was really shot in the head.
Yeah, and the blowjob
Well, I mean,
was real.
he really got a blowjob.
Yeah, like this is
And
real.
Watergate was real. Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's three.
So there you go.
So you
Lincoln,
want-
And then JFK.
And JFK is a
Bingo.
bad scandal. I mean,
Scandal?
Slash conspiracy. That's what I'm trying to say. Some scandals are slash conspiracies.
I mean, we could
See where
certainly
that's
talk
going?
about LBJ if you want and his whole.
We just talked about the
presidency-
Clinton blowjob.
Presidency being a scandal.
Oh, LBJ, sorry.
Not LBJ. LBJ. Or
So
FDR
you're
inflating
telling
money
me
and
that
bringing
it's
on the great.
so then it's the Clinton
Not gonna
blowjob.
go down there.
The Clinton blowjob, right? The Clinton
number one.
blowjob.
Yep.
That's
That is
number
number
one.
one, but it's
then
number one.
JFK. Right.
Because we still haven't solved that
Then
one.
Lincoln.
Yeah. I mean, Lincoln
Yeah.
should be
By the
number
way,
one.
you know the conspiracy?
Of course, but there's no awesomeness to that.
You know one
The
of
ending wasn't happy.
you know one of the 3,000
wasn't-
No.
ah.
one of the 3,000 conspiracies was that George
right.
Bush had George Bush then in the CIA had Kennedy killed.
You just killed my
Oh.
fucking list.
Can we? Can we put another political scandal up there?
What?
Like this one should be number one.
What?
COVID-19. I'm out. I'm out.
By the way, there's a movie coming out. Someone, because of this show, which is amazing.
I'd rather catch
People-
COVID-19 than Biden 20. Did you see that
Yes.
shirt? Oh, that shit
Somebody-
made me laugh.
You gotta love this show because
I still don't know what
Go
the
ahead,
four
I'm
are.
sorry.
Somebody sent me a clip, and there's a movie it's like a COVID-19 movie coming out. Like,
Oh, really?
it has like the lockdowns and like they come door to door. And
Well, I
I'm
mean,
not
you
gonna
heard
lie
what Alex Jones was saying, right, about the Rockefeller papers?
Yeah.
And how this was all
Planned?
a planned thing.
The white papers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's different. It's not the
I
same.
actually want to look into that
Same but
one. I
different.
want to see. I want to go dig into
News
those.
don't put out
Bro,
the white papers.
First of all,
That's a really good one.
it's hard to say that it's a conspiracy because every so often there's a pandemic. So if you're telling me that someone was smart and like when the next one comes, this is what
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
do.
no, of course.
That's different than
Yeah, yeah.
let's create one.
As long
Yeah.
as it's in the white papers, it's fine.
I don't think it's that far off to think that it could have, whether it was COVID or not, it could have been any new virus that popped up. That something like this was going to happen.
Oh, you're talking about that movie? Are you still talking about that movie that's coming out?
Yeah, no.
What's it called?
There's a movie that's coming
one
out where it's
coming
like 2024.
I'm gonna show you what it's
Another
called.
pandemic's coming. Blah
Somebody
blah blah
said-
blah blah.
Someone DM'd it to me.
And
huh?
is this bad for society because it's a movie and people might get scared?
Someone DM'd it to
Someone's
me.
going to Pizzagate
It's
this
called-
movie?
It's called Songbird.
It's like, yo, everyone always goes, oh, it's Hollywood, but now a movie like that comes out and
This
everyone's
is
like, oh my
it.
god, it's
Songbird.
Hollywood. Really?
You want to see it?
Yeah, well,
never
all right,
seen
yeah, fine, shut that shit off.
Let me go watch it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut those motherfuckers off. They're playing Bob Marley too.
No, we did it. We did it. We did the rankings. What are you talking about? We did Abe Lincoln. We
Yeah.
did JFK. We did Billy Jeff's blowjob,
Okay. Oh, and then Watergate.
and then Watergate.
All right,
Yeah.
that's your Rushmore rankings, motherfuckers.
See? Always make it
You don't have to
happen.
yell at the people. God.
I'm yelling at myself.
Subscribe and like, subscribe.
and subscribe.
Is that it? We're out of here.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, this is the longest show we had. It's almost
Hey.
2.5 hours.
Tomorrow's election day. Go vote.
Kanye,
If you lasted this long.
But don't vote if you're uneducated.
if you
'Cause then you just
vote
ruin
for
everything.
Kanye, put your diamonds in the air one time.
Hove
We're back. Hove, JC's mastermind is conspiracy.
Thank you very much,
5.
everybody.
You convinced me. I'll vote for Kanye tomorrow.
Why not? Fuck the system. Fuck the system.